going on, guys? Welcome back to United View. Hope everyone is doing very well. Welcome back to the final match view live here of the preseason tour of the United States of America. Pyrotechnics, please. I've got to be actually quite careful with these pyrotechnics, to be honest with you, because we've got some weather issues, but we'll let them play. One more. I thought there would be one more. Yes, indeed. Kickoff's meant to be in 2 hours' time. I say meant to be. You'd say, Owen, why are you saying meant to be? Is it just one of those things where, again, you know, sort of, we've seen it a couple of times on this tour where they say the kickoff time is meant to be this time and then it's like 5-10 minutes late? No. Kickoff time is meant to be in just under 2 hours' time. It's meant to be... Well, it's actually, that's wrong on the script. First of all, it's kind of dotted around all over the place. At one point, they said it was going to be... They said it was going to be 12:30 our time here. It's actually 12:45 it's going to be. But there is a lot of weather going on in South Carolina at the moment. Of course, the game is being held at the William Bryce Stadium in Columbia, South Carolina. And there's a lot of rain and there's a lot of possible thunder and lightning happening in the area. So there is the potential that this one doesn't kick off in just under 2 hours' time. It might kick off way, way, way later. Who knows if it will even happen altogether, but we will be here for it. This may turn into Weather View, the weather, but we shall guide you through it indeed. But before I do give you a bit of an update of the state of play as to really what's going on with this game and with the times and what have you. First of all, this video, this stream, as always, is brought to you by Oxford Natural by Gowing Life. As you would have seen recently, Flex and KG, they've been on their health journey, and the results are resulting, particularly when it comes to one KG, the comedian. Many people are very complimentary about the way KG is looking and feeling at the moment. Flex and KG have been utilizing the Optimum Day and Night and have been getting the results. If you haven't seen the original video yet, links in the video description. There's also an update video. You can check that one out as well. So many people have been saying it and seeing it with their own eyes, saying KG is getting results. And if you want to join him, if you want to get involved, if you want to possibly see results of your own, all you have to do is scan the QR code on the screen. There's one above me to here, I think it is. Just trying to work out the maths. Here, there's also the link in the video description. It's also pinned in the chat on the sidebar as well. You can scan the QR code. So there's so many ways you can get involved. Scan the QR code on the screen or any of the links, follow them. It takes you to the page to subscribe and save up to 70% off. Yes, 70% off. Links in the video description as well as all of the information too. Right, how are we all doing? I hope we're all doing good. Smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Strap in. This might be a long night, folks. This might be a very long evening because, as I mentioned, this match is meant to kick off in just under 2 hours' time. But there is issues with the weather going on in Columbia, South Carolina, which is where this game is being held. Now, Flex tweeted this out. This was actually a while ago now, saying current weather status in South Carolina. Now, there was this thing that popped up. We never get these, by the way, over here in the UK. Never, ever. But it said, emergency alert, National Weather Service. A flash flood warning is in effect for this area until 7:15 p.m. their time. This is a dangerous and life-threatening situation. Do not attempt to travel unless you are fleeing an area subject to flooding or under an evacuation order, right? That's the state of play going on right there. People that have managed to get into the stadium early, and you feel sorry for the fans that are outside or whatever. But Rob Dawson is saying heavy rain and lightning is around in Columbia, South Carolina ahead of Manchester United's friendly against Liverpool. When he tweeted this is not the case now, but when he tweeted this, it was dry, and the plan was for the game to actually kick off in its regular or planned kickoff time. James Ducker also confirmed that lightning forecast in Columbia, South Carolina for United's game with Liverpool. Manchester United are aware of the forecast, but are planning for the game to kick off on time based on the most recent information they have received. Club will continue to monitor and communicate if this approach changes. Well, as I mentioned, things did change very quickly. Rob Dawson saying it's now throwing it down at the stadium. It's been on and off all day, so hopefully it passes quickly. Still 2 hours to kick off. Now, there's also some sort of, because whenever anything like this happens, things go into a bit of a free-for-all because nobody really knows what to do. Now, thankfully, from what I understand, here we go. I've got a bit of a weather update. Something's just popped up on my phone. This is again breaking news, I suppose. There we go. A huge downpour just hit the Williams-Brice Stadium, followed by a thunderstorm. It didn't seem to perturb the thousands of Man United and Liverpool fans queuing outside to get in the concourse. Perhaps they're used to it. It seems to be subsiding now, but it's worth keeping an eye on, as lightning strikes during the game mean there will have to be a delay. And this is kind of the point that's being put out there at the moment, is the rumour is that if there is a lightning strike within a certain distance, I believe it's like an 8-mile radius or something like that of the stadium, then a 30-minute delay begins. Now, what happens then is it's like a countdown clock, basically. So if there is this sort of lightning strike within a certain distance of the stadium, the 30-minute countdown begins, and then if another one happens, it resets all over again. So, for example, if it was 29 minutes since the lightning strike and then another one happened, you would have to wait 30 minutes again. So we could be in for a long evening. Now, again, from what I understand, this is quite regular in these kind of that part of the country. In the US, of course, this time of year you get very hot, humid weather. Lots of people, I've seen Flex and Josh saying out there, it's been boiling the last few days. But then, of course, with humidity does come these kind of storms. So as of right now, the latest information that we have is that it's still going to kick off at the regular time of 12:45 British summer time, our time. But if that does change, we will let you know, and we'll be here all night. I'm not sure how much material I will have. I might just play rain noises. It might just be like this. We'll just do that. If it can rain in Columbia, South Carolina, it can rain here. Okay, that's what we can do. Yeah, it'll just keep raining now. We've added fireworks. And honestly, I tell you what, because this is just my timing. Yeah, this is just my time, my luck. Because whenever do I get a Manchester United match clash with a WWE, one of the biggest WWE events of the year, right? They just had to put it on this Saturday. They just had to. And by the way, usually SummerSlam is way later than this. Usually it's way later in August. Because I always remember going back to school. It was like the last week before we used to go back to school in summer holidays. So it's never this early in August. And they put it on a Saturday. It only moved to Saturdays a few years ago, right at the same time as Man United. And then I'm thinking, well, if it does kick off at 12:45, even though SummerSlam starts at 12, maybe I might make the end of it. Maybe I might make the end of that one. Delays. I'm like, you son of a bitch. I'm like, fuck. I'm cursing the skies, the weather. I'm going, this is just bullshit. This is bullshit. So, yes, if we do get any more information on what is going on with the weather, we shall let you know. But, I suppose it's something to consider and something to think about when it comes to the result, because
we mustn't forget that it's been raining, so the pitch is quite...
It's been raining?
Yeah. It's been raining. So that is going to come out quite a lot this evening.
We mustn't forget that it's been raining, so the pitch is quite...
It's been raining?
Yeah, it has been raining. So, what do we want to talk about, guys, yeah? What do we want to talk about? We do have quite a bit to get into before that, and of course, if there's a delay, we'll update you accordingly. Where shall we start? Let's start with a bit of an update when it comes to transfers, shall we? Let's start with a little bit of transfers, because according to Fabrizio Romano, Aaron Wan-Bissaka to West Ham United, here we go in a couple of days. See what I did there. So we've got to start off with this because this seemed like, I mean, I've been watching the Olympics actually today, and there's a lot of track and field going on, a lot of sprinting at the moment, and I saw some false starts, people jumping out of the starting blocks too quickly, and that's what this one kind of feels like here with Mazraoui earlier on today, because Sancho tweeted out the following saying, exclusive, I need something on the soundboard that's like exclusive or something like that. Actually, I can do the voice. I can get the voice on. Where is he? Well, there's a couple of different ones actually I can do. I can do trailer guy.
Exclusive.
I could do something like that. Maybe, yeah.
Exclusive.
He said, it's almost a done deal. Noussair Mazraoui will join Manchester United. Bayern Munich authorised Mazraoui to join United. The Moroccan right-back will take a private flight in the next days if nothing changes. Medical tests are booked for Tuesday. Contract valid until June 2029. 1 year in option. Erik ten Hag wants Mazraoui for the Community Shield. And I went... Didn't we just hear like yesterday that the bid was rejected? A double bid was rejected for De Ligt and Mazraoui, and now we're saying that a medical is going to be happening on Tuesday. What's going on there? And kind of maybe a bit more context to this comes from Florian Plettenberg. So obviously West Ham, they're doing a bit of a madness at the moment in the transfer market. Fulkrug, they're signed, Rodriguez, Somerville, and according to Florian Plettenberg, West Ham are now pushing to finalise the deal with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. West Ham are confident to finalise the deal in the next days, but for now, no agreement with Manchester United has been reached. Verbal agreement with Wan-Bissaka is done, as he previously reported, with a contract until 2029. Which, by the way, I think that is kind of just the standard contract. I know, so MA's there says, why such a long contract? Because that's the standard contract now. Amortization. How do you say it? Amortization? Whatever. Spreading it across 5 years. That's just the general contract. Unless, you're over, you're like mid-30s, then it will obviously be a bit... less than that, but the point being is that that's the sort of the general contract that's given out nowadays. So 5-year contract, but he also says there, no agreement between FC Bayern and Manchester United about Mazraoui yet, and certainly he would know, because when it comes to all things Bayern Munich, he does know. So when it comes back to this original report from Sancho, I feel like, and I'm not gonna be like cussing him out or anything like that, or having a go or whatever. I'm just saying, in transfer markets, you do kind of get that territory, don't you, where deals get close and they're going to happen. This is where sort of like the real ITK accounts try and build their following, isn't it? Where Mazraoui is going to sign for Manchester United. This deal is going to happen, obviously, because Wan-Bissaka is going to go to West Ham. But so with that in mind, you can put out a tweet now, can't you? Be like, Mazraoui, it's done. He's signing for Manchester United. And then when it does happen, you can go, see, I told you it would happen. You go, well, it's playing the odds, isn't it? It's like whatever. It's like putting a bet on when you know it's going to happen probably anyway. So I think it's one of those. As for medical's going to be on Tuesday. I don't know about that. An agreement's still yet to be reached when it comes to all of that. We shall see. But I think that one, again, it is going to happen. The moment that Wan-Bissaka agreed terms with West Ham, that was enough. That deal was going to go through, isn't it? It's just a case of how much money it's going to be. It's just a case of how much money it's going to be. West Ham, obviously, I think reports or rumours suggested they were willing to go for like 10 million or something. Manchester United want 18, but either way, it will happen. And the moment that we get a Wan-Bissaka, here we go, or everything's kind of done, then the Mazraoui, here we go, will happen fairly quickly. Now, what is quite interesting is that, and this is what I kind of spoke about the other day with the double bid that was put in for De Ligt and Mazraoui, is I had always assumed, and I still think it's probably the case, but I'd always assumed that it was a one-in, one-out situation. So you have to sell Dubai, you sell Wan-Bissaka, you bring in Mazraoui, obviously he's primarily going to be sort of the number 2 right back and interchange with Dalot, but he's multifunctional, and I think there is a hope that, and this is why United do like him, is he's comfortable on both sides, so he can be sort of the backup to Luke Shaw, or play when Luke Shaw inevitably gets injured, whilst they wait for Terrell Malacia to come back, which could be 2 months' time, or they can help with Harry Amas, because you don't want to throw him out at the deep end either, which is why they like the Mazraoui deal. But I was slightly confused by it, because I thought, well, if they've put a bid in for both of them, where have they kind of, again, got that money from? And I did find it curious, and as far as I'm aware, this information still isn't out there. I did find it curious for how much that bid actually was worth, that double bid that they put to Bayern Munich for De Ligt and Mazraoui, because I always thought that, with Ornstein's reporting, and he knows everything, which, by the way, I saw some people going with the Ornstein thing with the double bid. What does he know? David Ornstein? What does he know? Well, more than most, I would think. But they didn't actually say how much it was for. So it made me wonder, did United just lowball the shit out of them? Which I wouldn't put it past them. I wouldn't put it past him, because David Ornstein did mention in that article, didn't he, that the longer that the time goes on, the feeling is that it will hurt Bayern Munich more financially because of their wages. So they had been told. It seems like there's a lot of mixed signals going on with all of this, isn't there? There's a lot of mixed signals with, well, these players were told they were surplus to requirements, and also they were told by Bayern Munich, hey, you're surplus to requirements, and if you can sort out a transfer, we'll compromise, we'll make it happen. Yeah, that's what will happen. We'll compromise, we'll make it happen. And then a bid does go in. They're waiting for the compromise, and they don't, and they don't make it happen. So they were like, oh, what's going on here? So my long-winded point with all of this is that if the Wan-Bissaka deal obviously does get done, which I think it will, that the Mazraoui one gets done, then what happens with this De Ligt one? With the money that was left over, do they go back in? Things have gone quiet, haven't they, with Victor Lindelof and an exit for him? Things haven't gone quiet with Scott McTominay. Do they look at the McTominay deal and just go, can we just try with Fulham, get the best deal we can possibly get, so like close to like £30 million, and put quite a lot of that money into getting De Ligt, and then any money we got left over, let's say it's like 5 or 8 million quid, something like that, and put that towards a loan for Agate and say, hey, PSG, here's a loan offer for Agate, here's a loan fee, we've got an option to buy him at the end of this loan, and we'll go from there. I think that might be the sort of direction that they're kind of going with that one. So we're still looking at, obviously, those departures for happening. But I think the fact that they put that joint bid in, that would say to me that there is confidence that not only Wan-Bissaka is going, but someone else is going fairly quickly too. Now, it's going to be really interesting to see tonight who indeed does start. You would think if Aaron Wan-Bissaka is mere days away from putting pen to paper on a West Ham contract, and Manchester United are mere days away from closing a deal to sell Aaron Wan-Bissaka to West Ham, you would think that he wouldn't play tonight, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I half expect him to, but given luck with injuries at the moment, I don't want anyone who's potentially leaving to be jeopardised playing on a pitch where, as Ty would say,
we mustn't forget that it's been raining, so the pitch is quite...
It's been raining.
Yeah, well, could jeopardise. What happens if he gets hurt? What happens then if he does get hurt? So we can't risk that. So that's going to be interesting tonight. That's going to be curious. As far as McTominay, I don't think he'll start tonight. My predicted team, which you can see on the sidebar in a second, is Onana in goal. Of course, Tom Heaton played in goal last time against Real Betis. I think Onana starts tonight. Back four, I think Harry Amas is at left back. I think the centre-back pairing again is Maguire and Lindelof, because who else? Apart maybe Johnny Evans. Wan-Bissaka, if he doesn't start, then that to me says he's leaving in the next couple of days. That's what that says to me. Because I just don't see why you would jeopardise that. And he's literally the only right back on tour. So if he doesn't start and he's on the bench, naturally you would ask the question, why is he not starting? It's because there's nobody else that can play right back. When we've seen Scanlon come on and play right back, it's been widely acknowledged he's not even a right back. He's more of a winger, attacking player. So it's a real, square peg and round hole kind of situation. So that's going to be really, really interesting. It will say a lot about his future. As far as the rest of the team, I probably would expect it again to be Casemiro, probably Eriksen. On the right, would expect it to be Ahmad. On the left, Marcus Rashford. He trained, seemed fine. Mason Mount, I think, will probably be in the 10. And Jadon Sancho, I think, once again, would be false 9. But, a couple of times we've seen changes that we didn't necessarily expect on this tour. So we shall see. And also, inevitably, when that team news does come out, guys, I think we should lay down some ground rules between us all. And those ground rules should be, let's not freak out again, because we've done this every single game. We know what the team is likely going to be. We know the players that are on tour. We know that they're probably going to play. And every single time, the team news comes out and we act shocked. We go, I can't, what? Harry Maguire and Lindelof are centre-back together again. What? Well, who else is it going to be? I mean, it would be a shocker, wouldn't it, if it was like, oh, they're on the bench. It's Evans and Fish. Again, they're going to be playing together. That's what's going to happen. Yeah, they're going to play together. And because we did it. The best one was last time against Real Betis. The amount of just whinging and complaining and freak out, blah, blah, blah. We're shit. This team's shit. I hate this team. I hate these players. And all this kind of stuff. And then 10 minutes into the game, everyone was saying how well they were playing. They're going, oh, this team's bloody brilliant. This team's great. Now, look how well they're playing. I'm so excited by these players. They're playing super football. Look, I haven't seen Man United play this way for so long. I go, wait a minute. Where's Robbie? Robbie, I need you. He said...
hold on, wait a minute. No, wait a minute.
5 minutes ago, you said how terrible they are. No, they're bloody good. They're bloody good. And then, even if they don't play well, you have to realise that team is not going to be playing in 7 days' time in the Community Shield. If they do, it will be a madness. It will be a total madness. But that's not going to happen because Bruno, Dallo, Garnacho, Xerxes, and next week, Martinez and Cobby, they're all going to be back at Carrington. That's 6 players. That's over half a team is going to be back. I'm not saying they're all going to play in the Community Shield or start in the Community Shield, but we just have to, realise. We still have to just realise, the sort of situation of things. We get shocked by stuff we already know. That's what I don't get. That's the other thing I've seen with this thing about the transfers. I can't believe we have to sell to buy. Well, let me press the breaking news button. I didn't realise this was breaking news. I mean,
breaking news.
I didn't realise that was. We have to sell to buy. You mean all of those reports for months saying that Manchester United's budget's really tight were true? I can't. And you mean when everyone said, some of those players, you might not want them to go, but it's going to take some time because they've got time left in their contracts and their big wages. I just can't believe this. I'm shocked.
Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful.
I just can't believe it's a thing. Very shocking. And it's not to say, sit there and take it and be happy with it, but it's also just like, sort of spare me the sort of fake freak out every time. Because there's 2 inevitable ones on match day. 1, when the team comes out. 2, half time. That's the 2 freakouts. Guaranteed every single time. And obviously full time, depending on the result. But it is. Team news comes out. Holy shit. What are we going to do? It
ain't been fucking good enough.
Yeah, that's what happens. Half time. if we ain't winning by 5 goals, by the way, if we're not winning by 5 goals, it's just...
I'm good enough!
Why are we not winning this game by 5 goals with half of our team missing? Wow, this is terrible. We're going to get relegated. That's what's going to happen next season. And you go, well, not really, because, you know, sort of half the team's missing. They'll go,
Excuses!
Standards on the floor. Standards on the floor. And you go, it's only pre-season. They go, no.
Excuses!
I remember last pre-season when I said that we were not going to do very well, and that's what happened. And you go, and then you point out, well, there have been pre-seasons where we have done well, and it's not correlated to doing well. And they go,
excuses!
It's just, it's madness. It's madness. But it'll come. Team news is coming out in about, what, half an hour's time. So we can all do it together. we can all do it together in half an hour's time when the team news comes out and the team that we expect to be selected is selected, and we go mental together. It's enjoyable. It's enjoyable. I mean, it's, you know, maybe cathartic is the right word too. But we can breathe. We can breathe. As far as I'm aware right now, which once again I've got to do my turns. I'm not like doing like a model on a runway fashion. I'm not being dramatic. I'm just checking to see if there's any updates on the weather. Doesn't look like there is at the moment. Doesn't look like there's any updates. So as of right now, game is still set to kick off in about an hour and a half's time. So fingers crossed that is indeed going to be the case. That should be that'd be good. That'd be good if that indeed happened, wouldn't it? Should we have something quite interesting here? Lots of people really like this. So if you haven't seen this, you'll enjoy it. Obviously, on the pre-season tour, there's a lot of travel that goes on. There's usually like three or four cities, or a couple of years ago it was countries, wasn't it? It was Thailand and Australia. But when it's in the US, it's across a select number of cities, of course. We've played in Los Angeles, we've played in San Diego, tonight we're playing in Columbia, South Carolina. And with each city usually comes a vlog from Flex, KG, Just Josh Media Graphics Guru Visual Ninja. I'll say it faster every single time. And a lot of people really enjoyed this this vlog. So here's a little snippet of Flex meeting everyone, and also a bit of an insight as to maybe what's to come in the future from maybe a bit of a giveaway.
Just keep doing what you're doing, brother.
Absolutely, man.
I watch you for some head therapy sometimes.
I'm glad. Thank you, man.
Take care, man.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Take care.
What's up,
How
man?
you doing, man? You okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Good to see you,
I'm
man.
all
Good to
right,
see you.
man.
How you doing? You okay?
And the main man.
Main man who makes
Where's
it all
KG
happen.
at?
I'm trying to find him. He's in here somewhere.
Dude, this is
I'm
so
sure I'll
wild.
find him.
Dude, I've messaged y'all so many times through the channel.
Man, so many people.
I'm Joel Matthews from San Diego. What's
Oh,
up from San Diego
yes,
all
yeah,
the
I
time. That's
remember.
me, bro.
You know
I look for you in LA. We walked SoFi. We walked around the whole of SoFi,
And that's
bro.
a big ass stadium as well, man.
I watched your video before because I never been. My friend's been. Rolando, this is Flex. Flex runs the best YouTube channel, YouTube United channel in the world, bro. In the world, it's awesome.
Oh, wow, man. It's so
We look
brilliant.
for you all the time there. My wife and I were up there, and I'm like, I gotta find this dude,
Oh,
man.
bro,
I can't find him nowhere.
How you doing, sir? You okay, yeah? Nice one, bro. Aye, thank you.
Get a picture.
Yeah, sure, man.
Awesome.
Nice one, man.
Thank you, dude.
You guys
Yo.
enjoy, man. Good to see you, man. Looking sharp with the fit. Love this. I appreciate it, bro. Appreciate you, man. Go get your place back in the queue as well, man. Thank you, man. Nice one, bro. Nice to meet you, bro. Yeah. How you doing? You good?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
Sick, man. Look at this place,
It's crazy.
I
wish it was like this every week.
man. Oh, bro. I just want to live here, man. This is beautiful.
You know what's crazy is like following United from here. I'm like, I wish I could live in England. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I wish I could be in England.
You lot waking up at like 4 a.m. and stuff like that to watch games, and we
yeah.
might lose and stuff. It's just crazy.
Every single year, Everton at Goodison is at 4:30. No chance of anything else. So
That's why we got to keep
bro, I just
getting
want
it
to tell you, man. You know, one of the videos I have on repeat, right, is your rant at Matisse after the FA Cup win. That is one of my favorite videos of all time. One of my favorite videos.
Yeah, bro, because you saw what he was doing. He was mouthing off. He was giving it.
The Chelsea view. This and this.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm still charging him rent.
For sure.
He owes me, bro.
Collect
He
that,
owes you.
collect
See, keep
that,
the
bro.
pay up, bro. Pay up. I appreciate the love, man. Thank you so much, man. Listen, enjoy the game, yeah?
Sure, bro.
All right.
Mind if I get a
Of course, man.
Appreciate
nice
you, bro.
one, man. All right, take care.
Kevin Gary, can you ask me some questions?
Yes, I would like to answer some
Where
questions.
were you in '99?
I was here, mate. I was in America, San Diego.
Nice.
But I should have been there. I wasn't there, mate. And I could have been there. But no, listen, this is my guy Brian. This is my guy Brian.
How you doing, man?
He loves
Excellent.
He likes the Kobe footage, bro. He said it was fantastic.
Oh, amazing.
Good.
Hey, you're a famous camera guy. What's up? United till I die.
If Simon Snapdragon, surely they've got to do this once a year for a little bit. It's sick, innit?
I think I'd live here.
What? Bro, everyone keeps just saying that, bro.
You know, if I come, you're close to LA if you want to go
100%.
and you're just
Look at this lifestyle.
San Diego's nice.
It's way more chilled.
Scotty, can I get you to sign this quick, bro? Yeah. Nice one, bro. Thank you, bro. Cheers, Scotty. See you later, bro. All right, man. Whole name. Love that. Thank you, Dave. Take care. See you later. Come on, bro. Get that medium back. Come on, now. Let's go. Let's go. Don't trip up. Sign the shirt for us, please. Thank you, bro. Really appreciate it, Jason. Thank you very much. Thank you. Take care. Nice one. Cheers. Nice one.
Oh, the heat is on.
Heat is
Hashtag
on,
the heat is on the shirt.
That's alright. Well done with the coaching and stuff, mate. No coaching, yeah, no in England. Thank you so much, man.
Rubbish at holding shirts, Flex.
Bruce a pro at this. I get quick pictures, well, please.
Stop holding it upside down, Flex.
I'm holding it the right way. Nice one, mate. Take care. Cheers, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Take care. Thank you. Sorry. Cheers, guys. Thank you so much, man. See you soon. Take care. What you saying, man? You alright, yeah? Good to see you, bro. Thanks for signing this, bro. Whole time, bro. We're going to go to South Carolina now. Not with feet up in business, though. Being flipping economy. See you in there, man, yeah? Alright, man. See you in a bit, yeah? Nice one, bro. Thanks, man. We'll do a big giveaway for the viewers, man. Sorry, bro. Keep training hard, bro. Be ready for the opportunity, bro. They're coming, man. Speak soon, yeah? I'll shout you. See you in South Carolina. Thank you so much, man. Thank you, guys. Take care. You keep doing it, man. You said you want to stay here forever. Let's do it. Keep signing that shirt, bro. Thank you, man. We're going to South Carolina as well, so we'll see you there, man. Keep being you, keep smiling, bro. It's your time. It's your time, man. The fans love you. We love you. We love you, Ahmad. Big up, Ahmad. What you saying, bro? They get to sign our shirt, big bro. Eric working you, man, hard, yeah? No. Alright, man. He said not harder than last year. Tell you what, Eric's learned from the injuries, mate. Aaron said it, not harder than last year. Thank you, man.
Oh, what's that you got there, Fleck?
Something for the viewers. Fully signed by the squad here in America. See if we can get a couple more signatures on it in South Carolina, but I think that's about everyone, to be fair. So,
who else you got that's not in your teammates?
Sir Dave Brailsford.
Well.
Who else again?
Dan Ashworth.
Daniel Ashworth.
Yeah.
Jason Wilcox.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, you lot ain't winning this. It's getting framed and put in UV, mate. But you guys have been supporting us. I want to give back to the community. I want to give back to you.
We'll let you decide in the poll.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. We will let you decide in the poll. I tell you what, that's not bad, is it? I have seen the concerns. I have seen the worries and the concerns. Not about this game. It's even making me choke already. Out of worry, to be honest with you. Is
He's done it again!
That is a fact!
You fucking little bastard!
I mean, I didn't think about that when I was sort of putting this together. I thought it would be good for the community, if they haven't seen it, to be like, oh, look, this shirt, it's coming, like that giveaway, with all of the people that have signed it, whether it is, Sir Dave Brailsford, Jaden Sancho, Jason Wilcox, Ruud van Nistelrooy, whoever, they've all signed it. And then I realised as it was happening, over and over and over and over and over and over, he touched every single one of them.
Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful.
And when I saw it, it just the first. I can't remember the first person who it was he touched. I was like,
no, wait a minute, wait.
So I mean, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen to any of them? Realistically, who knows what's going to happen? I've said wear gloves. I've mentioned this. So like, it's fine. Like, just wear the gloves. People won't give you a funny look. They'll go, oh, he's wearing gloves, but maybe it's a thing. You know, if they ask, you just go, I got condition. And they'll go, oh, fine, no problem. And, you know, wear the gloves. It's fine. It's germs. You just got germs. You know, I don't want to get you sick or whatever. And you go, oh, cool, no problem. But now, I mean, the fact that there is, you know, there's flood warnings. There's flood warnings out there at the moment, yeah? There's flash floods. They're getting notifications on their phones just when Flex happens to be there. Do you know how mad that is? Yeah? I wouldn't be shocked if it is literally just one cloud over him that's just kind of sort of spreading around everyone else. And everyone goes, actually, sort of around him, the weather is actually fine. But with him, it's just kind of still there the whole time. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? I mean, I don't know. There's reportedly a league team that is out that meant for Manchester United to face Liverpool at the moment. Of course, if this was an actual, you know, proper match, that's what that means. Proper match. I wouldn't read it out, but it is a friendly. So the suggestion is that the team is in goal, Andre Onana. Right back is Aaron Wan-Bissaka. A Wan-Bissaka that could be playing his last game for Manchester United, but still, he's going to play tonight. Just, you know, whatever your sort of belief system is, pray that he does not get injured. One, just because we just don't have luck with injuries, and two, Flex did also touch him. Yeah, that's the thing. So, you know, whatever kind of thing, Wan-Bissaka's up right back. Interestingly, the centre-back pairing is Johnny Evans and Victor Lindelof. No Harry Maguire. Very interesting. Left back, Harry Amas. Not totally surprising. He's played every game on the tour. Midfield, Casemiro. Last game, alongside him was Christian Eriksen. This time, it's going to be Collier once again. Collier will be playing in midfield alongside Casemiro. As I speculated on, Mason Mount in the 10. Right, I don't know why I'm talking like this, by the way. Right wing is suspense. Right wing, Ahmad is going to be playing. He's played every single game on the tour. Marcus Rashford on the left, Jadon Sancho through the middle. It's the same midfield, that's same front three rather, that played last time. So that is the leak team. Let's face it, it's probably right. So once that gets confirmed, of course, we'll get it up on the screen and we'll let you know that is indeed accurate. As far as a weather update, reports are suggesting that it might be clearing up. So I tell you what, if I was really on it, I'd have created a weather map. I'd have got a weather map, and I could have done like a full-on weather forecast. As you can see here, with the southeasterly wind, it's going to sort of take that precipitation cloud and move it over here. So actually the weather's just going to be in the vicinity for maybe sort of 20-25 minutes, but then after that we're looking at clear skies and temperatures rising as high as 28, but a very high humidity. So obviously be careful, don't do too much exercise, don't be too strenuous, and make sure you wear your UV protection out there as well. But make sure also you take out an umbrella, because flash flood warnings could happen at any time. I could have done something like that, but I just didn't think of it. Really, it would have been good, wouldn't it? If I had kind of pulled that off, probably would have divided the audience. In fairness, they'd have been like, "What the hell's going on with that, Owen?" But it's fine. So yes, that is the leak team once again. When that gets confirmed, we'll get that up on the screen. We'll let you know. I did just have just below me here another screen was showing me the Chelsea game. Manchester City 2-0 up against Chelsea. 2-0. For those that are saying, "Oh, and why don't you watch SummerSlam?" I just don't. I don't want it to. I don't want to be spoiled. Really, I'm gonna have a unique situation. Really, when I do watch it, I won't be streaming. Usually, when I watch these pay-per-views, of course, I would be live on my channel, but I'm live here. I cannot. I've tried. But as of right now, I've not mastered the art of being in two places at once, watching two different things, and doing two different things at the same time. It would be impressive. The cloning process is going to be quite long though. So I will get to watch that without streaming, which should be fun. And then videos will be going up on my channel. Wrestle News 365. I'm sure someone put it in the chat. Recently hit 18,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. Speaking of numbers, good segue, Owen. We are less than 100 likes to 500. So if you haven't already, click the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well. Less than 500 subscribers as well to 174,000. Road to 200k. There is a rumour that there might be another party at 200k. There's also another rumour that I may be forced to go. So I might actually have to leave the house. So we'll see how that one goes. But the closer we get, the closer that is to becoming a reality. So big up to everyone that's tuned in thus far. Here's one. Should we talk a little bit? Okay, there you go. There you go, what you call it. Should we talk about Jadon Sancho? Something completely less sort of divisive. Jadon Sancho, he's done an interview. Hasn't said anything that you would, very hard questions, put it that way. It was with MUTV. It was only about a minute long or something like that. But still, it's the first sort of interview that he's done, first bit of media that he's done since being reintegrated back into the Manchester United squad. He was asked about the pre-season tour, says it's been nice, enjoying the weather, clearly before today, being back with the lads. It's been good. He also said, when asked if he enjoyed being back on the pitch, he said, definitely, 100%. We're getting back fitness. I just love playing football, is what Sancho said. And on facing Liverpool, he said, it's going to be a tough match. Obviously, the rivalry between us and Liverpool, it will be a good test for us. Now, it's not so much the what he said there that's really significant, but I think it's just it's good to open up the conversation surrounding Jadon Sancho, isn't it? It's good to open up the conversation as to, you can let me know in the chat, what do you think happens when it comes to Jadon Sancho's future at this point? Also, I think I missed this earlier on. So, super chat from Red Baron. Apologies, it took me forever to get to it. But he says, those thunderstorms sounds make me chill as F. Wow, some people do listen to that, don't they? When they go to bed, they put the rain sounds on, or the thunders, or the lightning, or the rainforest sounds. I've tried that before. I've tried that. But as far as going back to Sancho, it feels more and more like, at the moment, with not too many reports. There have been a couple, haven't there? Particularly the PSG one. But it feels more likely he's probably going to stay at this point. And I think it's probably a combination of two things. I think, one, I'm not sure how strong the interest is out there. We haven't seen really anything concrete, just kind of reports of like, oh, they might be interested. And two, I think that he might, I just feel like he might actually just want to stay at this point, really. I think he probably just want to stay. He's looked really sharp in pre-season. You can't fault his performances in pre-season. Since he played his first game, which was against Rangers, he looked really sharp. He played on the left in that game. When he played in the second team, didn't he, against Arsenal, which I don't think you could really judge him on that. It was a bunch of changes and what have you. But then in the last game, played his false nine, played really, really well, actually. Really liked that front three lineup of Ahmad, Rashford and Sancho, which we're going to see again tonight. So I think he probably stays now, unless an offer does come in and it's on the table, like let's say it's £40 million. I think United would have a look at it. But then it goes on to Sancho. What does Jadon Sancho want? And I think he probably does end up staying. Still got several years on his contract. And it does appear, certainly on the face of it, that all of the issues have been let go, and hopefully he would have grown. Erik ten Hag's grown. Everyone just wants to forget it, leave it in the past, which I think is the right thing to do. And we can't pretend he's not good. He hasn't reached the heights at Manchester United, certainly. But I don't know. My gut feeling now is that he stays. And what was going to be interesting, given the fact that there have been delays in people coming back coming back into training and what have you, maybe he might build up a bit of momentum. We shall see. George says, you're easily fooled, Owen. Get him sold and out of our club. Well, in terms of him being a cancer or whatever, or being this sort of treacherous-like figure, I don't think that certainly is coming across like that in matches or games or in anything like this. There's certainly no reports are suggesting that, are they? So, we'll see what happens with Sancho, but I think he probably stays. And I think, again, I mentioned this, and the team news, by the way, is out, which we'll get to in just a second. But when I mentioned this when I did a live Trinity with KG, and the way I equate it to is that if two guys are fighting and I'm on one side or whatever, and then my guy tells me, oh yeah, it's over, we're cool now, then I'm not there to fight anymore, am I? Why am I carrying it on? The war's over. The battle's done. We can, if they've all said we're moving on, it's in the past, then I can't tell everyone, but obviously people react differently and behave differently. But just speaking for myself, if I'm told that it's over and it's moved on, then it's over and it's moved on. And I go, all right. Now he still could go, and if he doesn't want to be at Manchester United, cool, then he should go. If Erik ten Hag wants him to stay and wants to use him, then he should stay. That's I don't know. It's never. I don't see how it's any more complicated than that, really. So, but we shall indeed see. Triple R says, who do you think will play more games between Højlund and Xerxes this season? I have a feeling Xerxes will once he shows his ability in the build-up play. Maybe he will. He's got an opportunity. He's going to have a run at it now because Rasmus is going to be injured for 6 weeks, isn't he? So, possibly. Right, let's have a look for the match preview, and then when we come back, we'll talk about the team news. We'll be back in just a minute.
South Carolina, massive stadium. We've had a look behind the scenes. You guys have already seen it. Fantastic facilities. The players got everything they need to be able to perform. The heat is going to be an issue, so hopefully they do get a drinks break. I'll definitely start with that. But let's get into it, man. We're facing Liverpool off the back of a win against Real Betis. 5-goal thriller. Some really good points in that game, some good performances from some individuals. It was a good team performance in the first half. Then obviously once the changes started ringing in the second half, etc., it gets a little bit disjointed, and there was less to shout about, but we still managed to win the game. Liverpool coming off the back of that win against Arsenal. Saw some highlights from that. They looked sharp in the first half, and then Arsenal started dominating. But they got a strong squad out here. Arne Slot is trying to get used to his team. But for us, we know about the injuries to Yoro and Rasmus, so we don't really need to touch on that. They're not going to be there, not going to be part of it. But it's about now more momentum. I'm looking at this as momentum. This is the last game now before the Charity Shield. Yeah, I was told by the club actually there would be some behind closed door games or a game for some of the lads who have got back a little bit later. I saw Dallo back in training today. Bruno was back in training. Bayandil was back in training. A couple there. I think the England lads in Cobby and Luke Shaw won't be too far behind that. Obviously they went further than the Portuguese boys into the final, so probably the next few days they'll be back, I should imagine. But it's about momentum, like the preparation. We need to be in match rhythm. The Charity Shield is literally next week, man, on the weekend at Wembley. And yes, it's a friendly, and we still need it as preparation for the following Friday to actually be ready for the season and be ready for the first game at home to Fulham at Old Trafford. But at the same time, the games are running out. We had too many games last year. I definitely felt that. We had like 8 games, different states, so many 1,000 miles. We've definitely skimmed it down, so the preparation is better this year. But with injuries to 2 key players already, we're still trying to work on deals to get Mazawari and Delitin through the door, Ugarte, another midfielder, through the door. There's still some spinning plates, but with the squad that's a bit disjointed, with some people getting back from the Euros, I just want to see the team that's out here perform against what will be a good Liverpool team, a good outfit, They're going through changes, but, to beat Arsenal at any time is not easy. And I saw the goals that they scored. They were well crafted. Salah, great goal. Fabio, Carvalho over the top scored a nice goal as well. So they're going to be on it. It's Liverpool. They're going to want to beat us, and it's a good test. Ahmad, I just want to see more from him, man. The kid's shining. He's doing his thing right now. There's no way and this is not a slight on Garnacho, but just in terms of the preparation throughout the pre-season to be ready for the Charity Shield / the first game against Fulham, I don't see how Ahmad's not going to be on that right side already. That's got to be his spot. Things change quickly in football, but I see it as Ahmad's to lose. Rashford, hopefully he shakes off that that kind of little problem that he had. He signified that it was an impact, like he knocked his knee on someone and it was a bit of a collision. So that was an impact injury. He should be fine. We haven't heard anything to suggest that he's not. He's looking sharp. We'll be interested in terms of Jadon Sancho again in that false 9 position or the 9 position. He did it last year on pre-season tour actually, and then it got into the beginning of the season and obviously we didn't start playing in that way. I can't remember who started the first game up front. Was it Rasmus? I can't remember. I think it might have been. Oh no, Rasmus was injured. So who started up front? Was it Jadon? I actually can't remember. Martial was injured.
Bruno, false 9.
Was it Bruno? Or did Rashi play up there? I can't remember. You guys got better memories than me. I can't remember who started the first game of last season against Wolves up front. But because the season before that we started with Ericsson and then against Brighton. Anyway, whoever, is Joshua Zirkzee going to be ready to just start when he hasn't played with his teammates? I can't see that. Bruno's been out of it, but we've got to get him back in. He's probably going to have to start at the Charity Shield and play some part of it. It ain't just going to be the players that are here. I don't think Ethan Wheatley's going to start up front against Manchester City in the Charity Shield. So maybe he will go with Sancho through the middle, Rashford on the left, and Ahmad on the right. That's been his first go-to team on the tour so far in both games. So we have to see what happens there. Mason Mount, I'm looking at him to try and maybe hopefully be involved in the first game. The fact that he was on the bench in the second team last game in a couple of days ago against Betis, hopefully that means he can come in and start against Liverpool. I think we might start seeing, if we see those little changes, we're going to get a good idea as to what Eric's thinking for that first game against Liverpool. And I think the fact that that team that started against Betis played into the second half as well, into the 60th minute. We were saying that the 45-minute thing's all right, but I'd like to see the players who are going to play more get more minutes out of it. Get some rhythm. It was James who sort of was talking to me about that from AFTV. He was like, it's better to get some rhythm. I kind of agreed with him. I want to see these players play into the second half to get more minutes in the tank. And we definitely saw that against Betis. Hopefully we see the same thing. The first 11 that he goes with should be the strongest 11, which we definitely will do that, in my opinion. And let's see them play into the 65th minute before you ring in the changes. Because, like I said, next week it's Manchester City. In midfield, I think, I think, like I said, Mason Mount was in the second team. But I think for me, I'm trying to prep. I'm trying to go Casemiro, Mason Mount, and probably Toby Collier. He was in the second team last game. Maybe a McTominay he might go with because he might see him as starting in the next game. But I think who we see in this game will give us a good indication as to who's going to start against Liverpool in the back line. Harry Ramos has been doing well. Listen, there were some moments when Betis scored their first goal. Yes, he went to sleep a little bit down his side. That goal came, he took his eye off the ball. But, he got a bit fortress through the left through good work, but he whipped in a good ball and he's looking like there's something there. And KG was a little bit more like he doesn't think he's ready, but I think we can give this kid a chance, man. I'm seeing some little bits. I'm not over-gassing him. I'm not saying he's better than Luke Shaw. I'm not saying he can be the left back for the whole season. Release the kid. He's the truth. It's not a Cobby situation. But for the early part of the season where Luke's going to be late back in, Malacia, we just heard from Eric, is like 2 months away from being able to make a return. He's only just looking to approach first team training now. So that's not going to be easy. So if we can get Harry Amas, see that right there? Camera shut off, mate. Too hot. Vegas part 2. It's no joke out here, man. We do with degrees, not Fahrenheit, but it's got to be like 34s. And it's humid, so the camera just shut off, mate. Anyway, where was I? Harry Amos. Yeah, I was just bigging him up. I was just saying, like, yes, he's raw. Yes, he's got stuff to work on. But like I said to KG, I feel like we're going to need him in the early parts of the season because Mazouari, I think we'll get that deal done, but he looks like he's going to come here late, as well as Delit. That bid's been rejected. So those two guys coming in, let's be real, they might not even be here by the time the Charity Shield even happens. If they are, they ain't going to be able to just walk in and play. And that only leaves Diogo Dalot back in, and Wan-Bissaka looks like he's going to leave. So if depending on how that happens, we ain't going to have many fullbacks to choose from at the beginning of the season. There's no Luke Shaw. Well, he'll be back, but going to be able to play limited times, not going to be able to play 90 in a Charity Shield. So I think Amas has got a point to prove and a part to play is what my point is. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. At centre-half, Lisandro is going to be late back. He got to the finals of the Copa America. As long as I saw Garnacho back today as well, actually. So Lisandro shouldn't be too far behind him. But again, we're going to have to be careful with him. He's coming off a long injury. It's a fantastic thing that he's played all the way through the Copa America and managed to actually get through all of it and win it. So that means he's actually quite fit. I've seen him working on himself, and hopefully you can just put all his injuries behind him, touch something that isn't wood that's not here. But yeah, you get my drift with that. Lindelof will potentially leave if De Ligt comes in. So there's Johnny Evans, there's Harry Maguire, and yeah, so it's kind of slim pickings until we get that squad sorted. So that's why this game is important, because I think this squad that's here on tour, they're going to be relied upon at least in the Charity Shield and potentially going into the early stages against Fulham and the first week or two of the season until we get the guys back in full squad and we can start working on what we want to do. So I'm not expecting miracles. I wasn't expecting the style of play to massively change overnight. We have to be patient. But what I'm expecting from this game is confidence. I want to see the players who can affect games. Ahmad, I want to keep seeing him go from strength to strength, which he is. Rashi, want to keep seeing him look sharp. And I think Jayden as well is going to be a big part of that as well, because if he doesn't leave in that time, then he's going to be needed for the beginning of the season as well, because it's up to August 30th. So there's going to be 2 or 3 games before the window even shuts off. So we're going to need these players. Smash the like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Prediction, it's going to be difficult, always difficult to predict these games. Liverpool look all right. I'm going to draw. No, I'll predict a win. It's the last game of pre-season tour in America. I'm going to predict a 2-1 win to Man United. That's what I'm going to do. It's going to be cagey.
He's going to predict a 2-1 victory. Team news, as I mentioned, is in. The team news is on the screen right there for you. In goal, we have Andre Onana. The back four of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Johnny Evans, Victor Lindelof and Harry Ames. There's a report that Harry Maguire is not playing tonight as a precaution. So all I'm saying is, yeah, flex Harry Maguire. There was contact in that video, was there not? There was contact in that video, and he misses the next game in what is being described as a precaution, which would suggest that is an injury, but they're just making sure they be careful with it.
He's done it again!
That is a foul!
You fucking little bastard!
I told you, there would be one. Of course there would. There would be one. Yeah, everyone's just kind of reporting at the moment. James Ducker just saying Harry Maguire's absence against Liverpool is just a precaution. Ten Hag clearly taking no chances with the fitness of his centre-backs after Lenny Yoro's injury. United's joint bid for De Ligt and Mazraoui was rejected by Bayern Munich on Thursday. So, of course, Man United still in for a centre-back, but Maguire, a bit of a knock, bit of a precaution. And with what happened with Lenny Yoro, they basically can't afford to lose another centre-back whilst they're in pursuit of the other one, because the hope would be that the De Ligt one does happen, but if it doesn't, can't afford to have 2 long-term injuries at centre-backs. My goodness me, what a disaster that would be. So instead, it's Johnny Evans is partnering Victor Lindelof at centre-back this evening. Harry Ames continues at left-back. Will be a big challenge for him, of course, going up against... well, who would he be going up against this evening? Probably Carvalho, but maybe... Salah will swap over. We'll talk about that in just a second. Midfield is Casemiro alongside Toby Collier. Of course, it was Eriksen alongside Casemiro in the last game. This time it is Collier back into midfield. Of course, he has impressed in this tour. Maybe not if you're KG, but Collier has impressed. Mason Mount is in the 10 this evening. On the right-hand side, Ahmad, probably the standout player for Manchester United on this pre-season tour of the United States. Marcus Rashford, his injury worries were just a worry. He's fine, good enough to start. And Jadon Sancho starts once again as the false 9. As far as people on the bench, Tom Heaton, Vitek, Bennett, Fish, Murray, Eriksson, Fletcher, Hannibal, Mather, McTominay, Oyedele, Scanlon, Anthony, and Wheatley all make the bench. Likelihood they would come on in the second half. Probably not at half-time like we saw previously. We did see against Real Betis. The team played 60 minutes, so I think they'll probably see this team for 60 minutes as opposed for just 45. Right, as far as the Liverpool team, we can get that up on the screen right there. Of course, here's the team that Arne Slot has selected for Liverpool this evening. They've got Kelleher in goal, a back four of Bradley, Kwanzaa, Konate and Tsimikas, midfield three of Elliott, Gravenberch and Jones, and a front three that involves Carvalho, Diogo Jota, and of course Mo Salah. So Mo Salah will be up against Manchester United's defence this evening. That is the Liverpool team. Of course, Liverpool still yet to make any signings, I think, this summer, if I'm correct. Still yet to spend anything. And it's the Battle of the Bolds this evening. Yes, the Battle of the Bolds. Once again, Erik ten Hag will be facing off against Arne Slot, former Feyenoord manager meets former Ajax manager. And it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. I mean, some people have been very complimentary of how Liverpool have played on this tour. I can't say I've watched them that much. I didn't see them. I had the game on. Actually, whilst I was partly doing the stream and prepping for the stream on Wednesday when they played against Arsenal. Again, can't say I saw much of them. So we'll see what they've got, what they're offering tonight. I mean, you would say Liverpool's starting 11 there is a stronger starting 11, probably, you would say. They've still got a lot of internationals in that team. Arguably their best player is obviously in Mo Salah is in that team too. So it's going to be very curious. Once again, I don't know how much you can take from that because, of course, I remember Erik ten Hag's first unofficial game as the Manchester United manager was against Liverpool, wasn't it, in Thailand? And it was the famous, I mean, probably the greatest trophy haul of his career at Manchester United. Of course, Erik ten Hag has won 4 trophies. People will say 2, but the real people know it's actually 4. We added another one midweek, the Snapdragon trophy. Big trophy. Very, very historic. Got a lot of weight to it. Maybe the most historic trophy ever. It was big stuff, really, wasn't it? Big stuff. Trophy number 4 for Erik ten Hag. But the first, and you never forget your first, the first was the Bangkok Cup. People remember it. I think it's actually been scribed on a wall somewhere just to make sure you can't forget it. It's been etched into, I think, caves around the world, just so if anything were to happen to planet Earth, one day as a relic, they would find evidence that happened, because it's a very historic moment. The Bangkok Cup. It was huge, quite literally massive. The trophy itself was massive, but in that game, Manchester United, in Erik ten Hag's first game, played Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool. And what was the score? Was it 4-0? I think it was 4-0. And in fairness, Liverpool went on to have a bit of a difficult season that season, didn't they? But the point being is that, again, it's pre-season. It's pre-season. So I've seen the whole thing of, wow, if Arne Slot has got them playing a certain way after just a couple of games and Erik ten Hag can't do it for Manchester United after 3 years, what does that say about Erik ten Hag? It's terrible. I remember in that very pre-season, a couple of years ago, when we played in Thailand and Australia, we were talking about how impressive it was. Manchester United's style of play. Look at the style of play. Look at that front three of Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho and Anthony Martial. We've transformed so quickly. It's fantastic. Things change. When you get into the season and when stuff really starts to happen, actual competitive Premier League matches, your best idea of how you want to play may have to be adapted very quickly, and Arne Slot will probably find the same thing. It can go one of two ways. He could be adapt to the Premier League perfectly and suddenly Liverpool playing this great football, or it might be a massive reality check for him. He'd be like, shit, I can't play that like that in the Premier League. Sean Dyche playing long ball against me at Everton, knockdowns or something. That's what happens in the Prem. That's what happened to us. That's what happened to Eric in the Premier League. We had a good pre-season, his first pre-season. Some good performances, some good results. And then he played Graham Potter's Brighton on the first day of the season. Then he played Thomas Frank's Brentford. He went, I'm not doing that again. All right, we got to change that. So that could be the same thing for Arne Slot. So the point being is that tonight, if we win, you're happy. If Liverpool win, you go, wow, it's annoying, but it's pre-season. It is what it is. But it's going to be interesting to see what the opponents do indeed look like, and hopefully what Manchester United look like. We've particularly that front three in the last game. I really liked the look of it. I do. I mean, I know we're kind of forced into having it because who else are we going to play? because no one's on tour. Ahmad, Rashford and Sancho. But I really like the way that they linked up. Obviously, Ahmad's been brilliant on this tour. And him just pre-season, even prior to the tour against Rangers, he was brilliant. He was really, really good against Real Betis, looked lively. Rashford, I think some of the criticism of Marcus Rashford, I on this tour anyway, I think has to just stem from a sort of dislike for Marcus Rashford, because I remember in the first game against Arsenal, it got to half time and people were really like cussing out Marcus Rashford, going, "Oh, Rashford, never poor performance." I thought, really? I thought he played all right. You know, did the long ball for the Rasmus goal, was part of an opportunity for Ahmad. Like for 45 minutes, he did pretty good, right? Against Real Betis, again, he looked really sharp. He looked really lively. He scored the penalty. It was a good penalty. He was confident as well. That's the other thing you've got to remember. He was confident. He was trying stuff in the second half. Maybe went a bit too far and trying certain things maybe he shouldn't have. He should have scored, actually, another one, a header. But, yeah, I thought some of the criticism of him was really harsh. And those same critics were all collectively shitting themselves when he got injured, going, "Oh, Marcus Rashford can't get injured." So, yeah, I think that the criticism of him was quite harsh. And I think the link-up play between Ahmad, Rashford, Sancho looked really bright. And what I really did like about their ability to interchange was at one point in the second half against Betis, they all switched position because they can all play in those different positions. So you had, I think it was Ahmad that was playing through the middle, and Sancho had switched out, I think, to the right-hand side, or it was to the left, and Rashford had switched out to the right, and they were all just kind of moving in all of these different positions. I thought that's really encouraging. I thought, again, Sancho in this pre-season looked really sharp. He was dropping deep, as you would expect with a false nine. He was dropping deep, linking up play. Of course, he's got a very strong relationship with Marcus Rashford. But even prior to Rashford's involvement in that game against Rangers, which of course Rashford missed because he had a bit of a knock, he linked up really well with Ahmad in that game, and they were swapping sides and they were getting involved. So I really like the look of that front three. Now, obviously, once it gets into the season, probably won't have Jadon Sancho playing up front because we got Joshua Zirkzee, Eriksen, Højlund, the other Danish guy, will be back after 6 weeks. That's why you've got two strikers. But who's to say that, with things when they are going well, we know what Eric's like. If things are going really well and he really likes stuff, he might not change it. So when it comes to Ahmad, Rashford and Sancho, that's still, I think, a possibility that front three does start against Manchester City next weekend. Obviously, Zirkzee will come on. Zirkzee will play against City because he'll need the minutes. But I don't know if it's a sure thing that he starts, guarantees that he starts against City. He might only be good for 45 minutes or maybe even less than that. If that's the case, he might come on second half perhaps. Because the game from the off might be a bit too quick for him. So I think they've got an opportunity to get themselves into a big game against City next weekend, and we'll see what happens. But I really like their performance against Real Betis, and I hope it continues today. And as far as the criticism of Rashford in this tour, for me, again, I can only put that down to just stuff that hasn't happened on this tour, if that makes sense. Stuff coming into from last season. I mean, we'll show it in a bit. Flex spoke to Adam Mola from Stretford Paddock, and he's backing Marcus Rashford to get 25 plus goals this season, which I don't know if necessarily I see that. I just want to see a level of consistency with Marcus Rashford. That's all really I want to see with him. I mean, I think that season he had 2 years ago was a purple patch because it wasn't even a whole season. It was a period in the season. But what you just want to see, what I want to see anyway, is just that, okay, inevitably there's probably going to be a dip after that. Cool. Most players, their form can go up and down, but there's still a level of consistency. When you're having a bad season, you're still putting numbers on the board. Basically, you're still putting numbers on the board, you're still contributing, or even in your worst game, you're still putting effort. That's the problem with Marcus Rashford is that when he's off, or when he's, sulking, and his body language gets terrible, he starts doing the fake run, and then you go, it's just up and down like that. Triple R says that's a bit unfair. Rashford has had 30 goals and assists in multiple seasons. But that's the thing with Rashford though. You don't know what you're going to get. you said multiple seasons then, but in then the seasons where it's not gone great, it goes down to the floor. So yeah, I think that again, you just want to see an element of consistency, and also you just want to see it's body language too, isn't it? It's body language with Marcus Rashford. You just want to see him look interested and him look like he's participating, because sometimes there have been games last year when that just hasn't looked like it's been the case for him. But as far as if you're judging him just on what he's done in this tour thus far, I can't really fault him for that. He's done just as well, you know, as a lot of other players too. So yes, and then when it comes to Ahmad, my only worry with Ahmad, please just don't get injured. Just please don't get injured in this game, because he's been brilliant. There is no justifiable way, I think, that anyone can probably get in front of him definitely for the City game and probably the first game of the season. I think that we have to be a bit careful that we don't just forget people, you know, when by people I mean Alejandro Garnacho, because I have noticed maybe a little bit of an out of sight, out of mind kind of thing with him. And Adam Mola brought this up, and I think it's a really good point that he makes when he goes, well, Alejandro Garnacho was contributing a lot last season. You know, I know that people said he was inconsistent with his performance levels, but he's very young, and what he was consistent with is he was consistently available for us, and shouldn't have started as many games as he did, or you know, been played as many minutes as he did because he's young. But we were forced to because we had nobody else at certain points. And whilst Ahmad's doing great in this pre-season, and he is, and I think he will start against City, and he possibly will start at the beginning of the season, it's also a part of it where you go, okay, we still got Garnacho, still got options, and he's still going to contribute. And you're expecting, I talk about consistency, I think it's natural to expect from Garnacho going, right, this season, hopefully it will go up another level for him. Last season was his first full season as a first team player. The season prior was kind of his breakthrough season in and out of the side. Now, hopefully, it's going to be a bit more consistency from him. But we're going to need options too. I mentioned this so much. And I don't know if it's a Manchester United specific thing with fans, but any signing we make or anyone that emerges through, we consistently get worried about other people that play in their position, about whether they're going to take it or not. So, for instance, it'll be like, I don't know, striker. We signed Joshua Zirkzee. What's that going to mean for Rasmus Højlund then? Is he going to be happy being out of the team? Well, you need more than one striker. Or Ahmad on the right wing now. So what? Garnacho's never going to play any games again? Well, no. You need multiple players, multiple positions. Or the only one that's a bit weird is the Bruno Fernandes one, because he just doesn't miss games. But you still do need options in those positions, don't you? Or what's this going to mean for this player? I mean, like for instance, with this Mazraoui one, it's a bit like, yeah, but he's not going to play because Dallow's the starting right back. And you go, but he will play because they're not going to play 60 plus games in the season. You need to rotate. You need to keep people fresh. We've had injuries. You need players that are multifunctional so they can play left back and right back. Like you need a squad. Look at the best teams when they've won anything over the last few years. They've always got this massive squad that they can pick from. Or in a game, you know, when things aren't going well, you turn to your bench. You want to look to bring on quality players, not turn to the bench and go, we've got nobody else. Why? Well, we only kind of bought 11 players because we didn't want to piss anyone else off. Really. We didn't want to annoy anyone else for their position. So we just didn't really have that. Goodness gracious. I mean, Man United, when I was growing up, Man United had 4 strikers, sometimes 5. And I know that you could say, well, I played 2 up front and Owen, but still, like you had just a different option all the time. That's why it was like York and Cole, Sheringham and Solskjaer. Like there was 2 partnerships. Or it was like, how many strikers have we got? Well, we've got Wayne Rooney, we've got Berbatov, we got Louis Saha. I think he was mixing. I think Solskjaer was still on the books at that point, even though his knee was screwed. And by the way, you know, we've got Tevez, he can play up front. We've got Ronaldo, he was more of a winger at that point, but he can play up front. You need to have all these attacking options. And then what Sir Alex would do, if we were losing, Throw them all on. Throw them all on the pitch and see if they can score. What's it? We're 1-0 down. It's 1-1. Let's see what happens when they play against 5 strikers. Let's throw them all on the pitch, and then usually we ended up scoring because if you are a defender, you're like, shit. What am I gonna do? I've got all of these players in front of me, because even then it was a squad game, and that was then. Even more so now. You need those options. So as Eric says, it'll be survival of the fittest this season. The problem is, when the players are fit, they can get around the pitch quite well, as we saw in the last game. But can they stay fit? I don't know about that. Yes, right. How many likes are we currently at the moment? We're currently at 621 likes, to be specific. If you haven't already clicked the like button, let's see if we can get... I mean, there's still plenty of time to go to kickoff. There's about 40 minutes to go until kickoff. And, well, it's meant to kick off at 1:45. Still probably will, but these pre-season fixtures end up getting delayed a bit anyway. Like, it's 1:45, but it'll end up being like 5-2 or something like that. That was the case of a couple of the games thus far. Those kind of kickoff times are a bit loose, shall we say. They're a bit of a loose kickoff time. So there's plenty of time already to click the like button if you haven't already. Plenty of time to subscribe as well. And let's go to Adam Mola, see Flex's chat with him. Lots of you guys really enjoyed that. Big up to the guys at Stretford Paddock. Flex and KG actually did appear. I don't know if you guys saw it in... When was it? It was the open training session video, I think it was. Flex and KG were in that, and lots of people say that they want to see more of that, see more of the collabs. Yeah, I'll just say we're always listening. Maybe something won't happen in the future. Maybe I've said too much already. Maybe. Well, if you didn't see it, check it out.
I'm here with Adam Mola. Bro, this has been a long time coming, they're saying.
It has been a long time
The streets
coming.
have been saying it's a long time.
It has to be a bit more regular as well, and we're going to do something about that. But what a place to be doing this right now. What a place to be doing this right now. Look,
it's mad.
We're lucky, you know.
The breeze is just blowing.
We're so lucky, man, that we get to do this stuff.
100%. We were just saying before, like, this is somewhere that, like, you could live. Like, it's beautiful. The weather's beautiful.
I want to live in San Diego.
Would you live here?
I would live here. Out of everywhere, I haven't been to everywhere in the States, but I've been to a lot of places, and San Diego is the one. Dude.
It is.
It's the one. I
so
hope we're
chill.
back here next year.
100%. And obviously with Snapdragon, front of shirt, etc., I'm pretty sure we're going to find ourselves back here as well. Bro, let's catch up about where we're at on this pre-season tour, where the team's at. A little bit on transfers as well. First of all, injury to Lenny Yoro. It's looking peak. It feels like we're just cursed, bro.
There's been a few different reports, hasn't there? One that there's 3 games, one that there's a couple of months. Man, it's disappointing. The beauty is, though, he's a young lad. If he can get over this, if he misses a couple of games, ideally we bring in another centre-back. You know, let's talk about Matic de Ligt, let's talk about Jared Bamford. I'd go Matic de Ligt personally. Yeah. He seems to just be waiting for us. Go make it happen. If we can make that happen, then I'd be confident going into the league season if you got Lissandro or Matic de Ligt, then with Maguire and Lindelof as backup, because personally I don't think Maguire and Lindelof are the answer to our problems, but as 3rd, 4th choice, it could be a lot worse than that, you know what I mean? So I think we could be okay. He's a young boy, man. With the best times are to come with him, and you're never going to see everything inside 3 to 4 weeks, you know what I mean? It's just a shame he doesn't get to participate today.
Do you know what I mean? Build it up properly.
It's
just typical. And every time, even before he got injured, I was like, listen, that Matthias de Ligt deal, I still need that. I still need that, because like you said, you're one injury away, like you said, from going back to Maguire's or going back to Lindelof.
Johnny Evans wouldn't have expected to have played as much as he played last season.
And how good was he when he did, by the way?
He was amazing. He was amazing.
Yeah.
I remember he looked shaky in one. I think it might. Did we play Wrexham?
Yeah, bro. That was that.
And then
Paul
after that,
guy,
he was fine.
Yeah.
He was after that.
I was like,
fine.
yeah, we can't sign him. Like Johnny, it's done. And then when he came on against Arsenal, obviously that was difficult when him and Harry Maguire had to come on. But after that, whenever we needed him, he was there. And we give him 1 year for the right reasons, I'd say. Midfield, you know, there's stuff about Ugarte and different midfielders coming in. But in terms of our midfield, how it looks now, what are you saying needs to happen with the players that need to go? Obviously, there's Eriksen, there's talks about Scott McTominay bids coming in from Fulham or abroad. We still don't know about Amrabat, Casemiro. Is Saudi going to come in and pay the money? It looks going to be quiet now.
Casemiro's going to be a late one, isn't it? I don't know what's going to happen. We definitely need to bring someone in, whether it's someone to challenge Casemiro or either replace Casemiro. We need someone in that position. It'd be interesting if we can raise some funds for McTominay or Eriksen. McTominay, look, he provides a service off the bench. He can score a couple of goals and that. He's not going to be the guy to win us the league, unfortunately. You want to see younger players come through the academy and do well for the first team. But it looks like maybe it's best for him to move on, play every week for someone, because he's a good Premier League player.
100% for Fulham, it'd be fine.
Yeah, it'd be great for Fulham.
Yeah.
So there's no reason why you can't go and do that. Give us a big transfer fee in the same process.
What's he worth?
And then maybe he's worth at least 30 million.
Because I'm saying Emil Smith-Rowe, bro, is going for 35 million.
He didn't play last season.
Nothing. He ain't done nothing.
Maybe he's a bit younger and there's a bit more upside to him. You know what I mean? And the different style of play, you pay more for your attacking style of players, don't you? But McTominay gets goals. He plays really well for Scotland.
He scored more than him.
International level, he's one of the top goal scorers at the Euro qualifiers. So he's worth at least 30 million. And then it depends what happens with Eriksen. Eriksen's the kind of guy, I think we've played him too much.
In that first season we met him.
You know, off the bench, to be someone to whip the balls in and be the set piece guy, it's an option possibly, but I think we just need to bring someone in there to be that regular partner for Kobbie Mainoo and Bruno Fernandes. I think Mason Mount's going to have a big season.
I've said this, bro. I mean, look, I don't know what's been like on the paddock. I don't know, what's your community like in terms of how they see Mason Mount?
I think they're just expecting something to happen. I don't think people want us to really see the back of him because we haven't really got to see him.
Seen him.
Obviously, when you spend 60 million on him or 50 million, whatever it was, and you could have got him for free and he spends a year injured,
it's mental.
That's not ideal because you could have saved that money. But you bring in Mason Mount, I think he's worth that money. If you forget the contractual situation, he's worth that. He's still very, very young. I think he's a really good player.
I do.
The only problem is his position, Bruno's position. You got Kobbie, who's more of an 8. But then if you're rotating Kobbie Mainoo, Bruno Fernandes, Mason Mount in those 8 positions, oh my God, that's an amazing position to be in. You know
and it's about how we set up, and that's where the coaches really got to get in their bag now. Because one thing is, when shit hits the fan and you're playing crap and you're getting opened up, all right, cool. You can buy new players that can do things. You can buy someone who's more combative. You can buy someone who's more technical, etc., etc. But you cannot underestimate team setup. Like coaching, if you know Casemiro is isolated, left on an island, and he's going to look exposed every single time we play, you have to set up that way that's going to make it not be like that. There's so many midfields that you can look at where they might not have the quickest players in there or the most technical or whatever, but the balance is right or the way that they play is there.
I think the way the manager plays, though, he relies on legs in it. So he wants these players to be able to go and get back in. Now, that's wild sometimes because some teams are going to pick you off, but we need the legs in there. That's why we're looking at someone like Ugarte.
It'll be perfect.
I mean? He's got the legs. And then that's why I'm a little bit torn on Casemiro because I feel like he's won a couple of trophies since he's been here. I still feel like he's got something to prove, though. And let's say Ugarte come in and he's like, not your backup, but rotating.
Yeah. Then it's not the end of the world.
Because we were using him every single game, and then we had no midfield.
And play was going through him.
Right,
and he can't.
So put him in an optimal position where players are playing around him and stuff, and maybe you'll see a little bit better from Casemiro.
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, I'm not going to lie, man. Like last year, I was just concerned. I'm like, the lack of technical ability in our midfield, like people can't keep hold of the ball. It lacks mobility. It lacks being compact. It just lacked everything you need. And obviously Bruno's the one who's just going to give you moments and operate, which we need. And obviously Kobbie's the one. But I'm with you. I think Mason Mount, that is like a new signing. It really, really is. And that's going to be one to watch. And Casemiro, if he ends up staying, it's all about the setup. But we have to get a midfielder.
The weird thing is, maybe two I want. I don't know what's going on with. We seem to be letting Wan-Bissaka go, bringing in Mazraoui. I don't mind that, but isn't left back the spot where we should be doing that? Because Luke Shaw's...
He's going to get injured.
Luke Shaw's an amazing player, but he's been injured. Thuram Malacia, he was great. He's a great squad option, but he's not been available. So surely the trick is, but then maybe you can't get rid of one of them, and Wan-Bissaka's got a year left.
And he's got a year left.
And you can sell him. All right, I get that, but... I don't know, man.
It's difficult, and some people will be like, in the 1v1s, no one does what he does, and I don't necessarily mind that we're trying to go in a different direction, because we shouldn't necessarily think like, if someone's good at tackling, that means you're good enough to play for Man United. I don't mind that, but the guy coming in needs to be better.
It could be that you could use the lower Mazraoui at the same time.
Yeah, he can play left back.
You know what I mean? You could potentially do that.
That's true. So there's stuff there. Attacking wise, to finish off, big season for Rasmus, but Joshua Zirkzee, obviously we haven't had a chance to look at him.
I like Rasmus.
This is a good big season for him. Got the 9 on his back now.
Rasmus is a player. I don't think he has anything to prove. All he has to do is get better. I think last year he proved he's a number 9. The goal he scored the other day was class, you know. And then he got
Power.
injured and you're like,
I know.
Because the goal, the strength, the ability to run through, he showed a little bit of a burst of pace. He's looking really good. Now you got competition. Joshua Xerxes coming in. We didn't really have competition for him last year, so I'm looking forward to that. The position we have to sort out, I'm fine with the left. People like to panic about Marcus Rashford.
Do you think he'll be right this season?
Get behind Marcus Rashford, man. Marcus Rashford's going to come through with another 30-goal season, in my opinion.
You think?
I think so, yeah. Or 25 plus.
Yeah,
at least.
The bounce back
He's
will be
going to
there.
go back. Because he had his best season under Eric Ten Hag, so there's no reason why he can't replicate that. And with competition from Garnacho on the left side,
Yeah, because now he's hungry
on the
now.
right.
Yeah.
But then you got Ahmad. I think Ahmad's the one.
This is it now, isn't it?
If not,
It's got to be, man. He's good enough, man.
I don't rate Sancho. Sorry, not Sancho. Anthony. So I'm done with Anthony. But Sancho is like, I didn't expect him back.
I still think he's going to go.
But you know his ability, yeah.
If you can unlock it. No, but don't do it to yourself,
so
Matt. We
good,
do
man.
this, bro. We do this, man.
But that's why we need, like, you know, if you have Ahmad,
Yeah.
you have Sancho, and then you can have Garnacho who can play there. If
Yeah.
Rashford can lock it in, then you've got enough there on the right, I think. But
So
we
you're
need
saying if they
Rashford to
all
have a
play,
good
so if
season.
they all play to their potential, which Jadon Sancho, of course, he's been off his potential for a long time. But like you're saying, there's quality there. Ahmad just looks ready to go now. Like, it's got to be. Like, and he's going to, because these guys are back late, he's going to start the season. He's going to start the
It needs
season.
to be his position.
He'll start in the Charity Shield.
Yeah, he needs to
Because
be.
Garnacho's not even back until then.
So it needs to be Ahmad and Rashford in it. And then it's up to Garnacho to come and take a position. But I think personally, it's Rashford and Garnacho on the right.
Rashford on the right?
No, Garnacho on the
Oh,
right.
Garnacho on the right.
And then it's up to Ahmad to like say, this is me.
Yeah, because
That's
actually we
what I
can't forget what Garnacho has done. The
Garnacho
problem
was
is he
incredible.
played.
But I tweeted that,
32
yeah. I
games in a row.
tweeted about like, I think that position's Ahmad's unless we're going to play Garnacho on the right.
Yeah.
And people going on like, now what you're talking about, Ahmad's so much better than, and I was thinking, what has Garnacho done to people?
Yeah, to
Like,
annoy them, yeah.
He's such a fantastic, like
He
some of
is.
the goals he scored a goal in the cup final, he scored one of the best goals I've ever seen in my life. Like, what else does this kid have to do? Like,
Yeah.
he's such an incredible player. Yes, they're different. Garnacho's a little bit more kick and run, he's a little
Yeah,
bit
he's
more
direct.
direct. Ahmad very rarely loses the ball.
Oh, that's what I love
His little
about him.
short touching.
Oh.
He's a little bit like Sancho in that.
Big up to Flex and Adam Mola there chatting. More to come in the future. I'm not going to say any more. Lips are sealed. Thrown back. I'll be thrown off the channel. Shut the channel down. Never talk about it ever again. But lots of people enjoyed that. Check out the whole thing if you haven't already. We're closing in on 700 likes, which is fantastic, by the way, guys. 39 likes to go to 700 before kickoff, which would be incroyable. Kickoff, speaking of which, is about, 25 minutes away or so in Columbia, South Carolina. Looks like, thank God, all of the weather has passed, and thankfully, it looks like it's all good. I mean, as was mentioned, though, earlier on, if we do get a negative result...
We mustn't forget that it's been raining, so the pitch is quite...
It's been raining?
Yeah.
Are you...
Yeah, gotta just remember that. But also, you've also got to remember to
Believe.
That's also, you know what my favorite thing with that is? It's not necessarily Robbie going believe. It's just the music in the background of just the
Believe.
It's so epic. And the best thing is, every time he has done it, it's just the complete opposite has happened. Eric Ten Hag has spoken to MUTV prior to this match. A little bit of some words from the Manchester United manager. He was asked about the game this evening. He said it's a very good test. We know Liverpool is a very good team, so we are looking forward to the game. Ten Hag also spoke a bit about Harry Maguire, of course, why he's not available this evening, as was reported. He's now confirmed it. Harry Maguire, precaution, we left him out. We have, of course, picked up some injuries. No shit. During pre-season, but that is part of football. It is, Eric, but it's also, unfortunately, part of Manchester United over the last 12 to 18 months, isn't it? We pick up injuries. My goodness me, do we pick up injuries. Even if we've just signed them and they've never got injured before, they then break their metatarsal. It's just a complete nightmare. But Manchester United exercising caution and not starting Harry Maguire tonight, though, who he is at the stadium and was reportedly out there signing hats and shirts and things of that nature too. Amanor with the super chat says, Owen, I am on Eric Ten Hag versus Slot Watch tonight, 316. Well, as I mentioned, it's the Battle of the Boldies, Battle of the Dutch Boldies, actually, this evening. I mean, it's not the real battle. It's not the battle that people are going to remember, is it? But put it this way: if at the end of the season we have to, whatever fan base, at the end of the season, if whatever fan base, the thing they have to fall back on is, yeah, well, we beat you in pre-season, mate, that would imply that they haven't got the best of the situation there, wouldn't it? You know, if you've lost twice in the league to the other team and you go, yeah, but pre-season we did kind of beat you, so, you know. And confirmed, there's no trophy this evening. There's no penalty shootout either, thank God. So we're not going to be witnessing to anything like that. So, yes. But it's going to be interesting, as I mentioned, just to see what Liverpool look like, what United look like. But again, it's only pre-season, so it going into effect into the season. We'll have to wait. Some more news. A bit of an update on Manuel Ugarte, actually. I did want to talk about this. So Fabrizio Romano tweeted this out today, saying that Manuel Ugarte keeps waiting for Manchester United. Join the list. Manuel, there's quite a few. To be fair, this feels like Fabrizio's kind of go-to when he's got to post something. So he's done it with Mazraoui, he's done it with De Ligt, he's done it with Ugarte. Keeps waiting. He's just waiting by the phone. It's like the Wolverine meme, you know, when he's got the photo. It's just Old Trafford. And he says he keeps waiting for Manchester United as he's agreed on personal terms 2 weeks ago. He wants United. Man United and PSG remain in contact. Loan with an obligation also discussed. Outgoings are key for Manchester United, but Ugarte remains top target. Sofian Amrabat is also on the list, so the possibility of Amrabat returning for Manchester United seemingly is not completely off the table at this point, but Ugarte is the top target. But once again, it depends on outgoings. Now, like I spoke about earlier on, what we could see, I think, maybe we kind of had misinterpreted everything when it comes to the midfield situation, because we had assumed that it's got to be Lindelof that goes to bring in De Ligt, and it's got to be McTominay that goes to bring in Ugarte. And actually, it may be McTominay's the key for both deals. McTominay is the key for the De Ligt deal because the majority of McTominay's transfer fee would probably go to De Ligt, and then whatever money is left over from the McTominay deal goes towards a loan fee to Ugarte, and that is a loan with an obligation to buy, perhaps. That looks like what it could be. Now, what that would mean for Victor Lindelof, I don't know, because he still has to go this summer, doesn't he? He has a year left on his contract. There is no option. Manchester United are not going to offer him a new deal or anything like that. So if he doesn't go this summer, then chances are he's going on a free next season. Now, we're not necessarily going to get a huge transfer fee for him anyway. Probably max going to be like 8-10 million something. But it all counts. It all goes towards the transfer kitty, KG's infamous, what do you call it? The war kitty. When was that? Was that last year? He going on about his war kitty? My goodness. But maybe McTominay is the key for a lot of these deals, for De Ligt and for Ugarte. But as far as the update on Ugarte, it's just the same. All of these deals are really the same. We are in the same situation that we were in a couple of weeks ago, which is until certain players leave, not much is going to happen. Manchester United have got as far as they can, basically, on all of these deals by agreeing personal terms with the player. So that when they do get the green light and the players do get sold, they can hopefully do these deals fairly quickly, which will hopefully be the case for Mazraoui, which will hopefully be the case for De Ligt and Ugarte. I mean, the Ugarte one, and I wonder what you guys think. Big up to DJ in the chat. I wonder what you guys think with the Ugarte one, given that could be a loan deal. I just have this feeling that might be right towards the end of the window. That might be very close towards the end. A bit similar to sort of the Amrabat situation. I mean, I suppose technically it shouldn't be, because PSG have seemingly got the João Neves thing sealed up. They've done that. But I could see a situation a bit like last year with Amrabat, where you wait and you wait and you wait to kind of force the selling club or sort of the loner club, however you want to call it, you force their hand to be like, oh, we just got to get him off the books. We've got to get him off the books. We've just got to, yeah, okay, yes, fine. We were looking for a bit of a higher loan fee, but fine, right, you go. I could see something a little bit like that happening. And also, it's been my prediction for weeks now, I just see across the board, this isn't just Manchester United specific, I just see across the board a lot of business being done right at the end. I think it's going to be one of the busier deadline days than we've seen recently. And we've seen some pretty big deals on deadline day, haven't we, over the last couple of years? My goodness, you know, whether it was Harry Kane, that was technically a deadline day one last year, I think it was, to Bayern. All that Caicedo stuff was like right towards the end of the window. I could see stuff like that happening this time around. Maybe not for as big a transfer fees like that, but I do think there's going to be a situation where a lot of clubs, because of their PSR and FFP restrictions, wait to see what happens. I think they'll wait to see what happens at the start of the season, see which players they've got, see how they start in the league, see if anyone gets injured or hurt, and wait for one club to panic. And then when one club panics and has to buy someone else, and the domino starts to fall, then everyone starts spending money. I could see something like that happening, and I think Manchester United will get involved in that too. So I still do, where is Don Robbie again? I still do
believe
that we will get, the Mazraoui one is definitely happening. I think the De Ligt one will happen, and I think the Ugarte one will happen. But if I had to pick an order in which they will happen, I think it will go Mazraoui first, then De Ligt, and then Ugarte. I think Ugarte happens very late on. Luxil says, "Oh, what's the logistics of you doing this stream and also SummerSlam being tonight?" It's just horrible coincidences, isn't it? When the odds of this happening, honestly, SummerSlam, as I mentioned, is never this early in August, never. And then Manchester United just so happened to be playing on the Saturday that SummerSlam is. Oh, and it's exactly the same time. And by the time this match finishes, SummerSlam will probably be finished. WWE recently, you know, over the last year or so, moved their events to Saturdays instead of Sundays. It's just one of those things. Can't do anything about it. So, you know, one of those ones, unfortunately. I had always assumed, really, that the good thing with being a wrestling fan and Manchester United fan is they'll never clash. they'll never clash. They do, actually, particularly now, because there have been a couple of times when, because they're doing more shows outside of the US, some of their shows are a lot earlier. And FA Cup final day, I missed the first hour of King and Queen of the Ring because we won the FA Cup. So again, the clashes are constant. So I'll be doing a video on my channel about SummerSlam, maybe very late tonight or very early tomorrow. But yeah, it's one of those things. Can't do anything about it. I gotta be here. Gotta be with you guys, chatting about this game. Hopefully. What I really wouldn't want, in fairness, is a situation where, like, the end of the match, it's like 5-0 Liverpool. I'm like, fuck, I should have watched SummerSlam. This bullshit. But even that, I'll be like, oh, whatever. It's not that deep. Yes. But that's the latest when it comes to the Ugarte one. But again, I still do think that will happen. Alan says, is anyone concerned De Ligt, Mazraoui and Xerxes are all Bayern rejects? Not really. I mean, we do this quite a bit with managers and with players, don't we? We judge people on their failures rather than their successes. And if you do that, I mean, obviously it can tell you a part of their career. But just because it didn't work out one place doesn't mean it won't work out in their career. And define Bayern rejects, realistically. There have been players... So, for instance, when... David Beckham, when Man United, Ruud van Nistelrooy, when Sir Alex, Ruud were a bit on the outs, and they brought in Louis Saha, Ronaldo's coming in, and Wayne Rooney's come in, and we sold him. The Bayern reject? Is it a Bayern? Is he a Man United reject? Just because you sell a player doesn't mean they're a reject. And it's same with managers. That was the whole discourse in the summer, wasn't it? Of about different managers coming in. Well, this manager's been sacked. Okay, there's lots of managers been sacked. Lots of players have been sold. Odegaard is being regarded as one of the best midfielders in the Premier League at the moment. He went to Real Madrid when he was 14. Wonder kid. He's the future. Didn't work out there. I'm pretty sure Arsenal are pretty happy with their Real Madrid reject as their captain at the moment. You know? My goodness me. There are quite a few Man United players that didn't work out. Look at like Diego Forlan. What a Man United reject. He had a pretty good career in the end, didn't he? Not bad. not a bad one he had. I tell you what, I'm pretty sure Manchester City are happy they got that Chelsea reject in Kevin De Bruyne. I think Liverpool tonight, we'll see another Chelsea reject in Mo Salah. Liverpool, are they not worried about that? You know, you can't. If that's the only way you judge people on their failures, then you will miss some very important big players. And it's not like, you know, Bastian Schweinsteiger or anything like that, who we bought at the tail end of his career when he was having a lot of injuries. These are still players that are arguably in their prime, still young. So yeah, I think I would say define reject, define reject, because I don't know if I would class them necessarily as that. And like I said, there's a lot of examples. A lot of examples of players that maybe it hasn't worked out at certain clubs and they've done just fine. Sometimes the change of scenery, right system, right manager, right time in their career is exactly who you want. So, yes. A Wizard says, Owen, those were Mourinho, who didn't want Salah and Kevin De Bruyne. He is the reject. Well, Mourinho kind of tells that a bit differently, doesn't he? About, which one is it? Is it De Bruyne? Who he said that, one of them, he was like, no, I did want to keep them, but they just wanted to play more game time that I couldn't necessarily afford them at the time. So they left. But, yeah, just, you know, I mean, I think it's just with any transfer, isn't it? That's Eric Ten Hag there. Palmer. Oh, tell you what, Chelsea got that Man City reject. Haven't they again? Yeah. Bad. Didn't Sir Alex Ferguson get sacked by St Mirren as well? Oh, I tell you what, Sir Alex Ferguson, that St Mirren reject. You know what I mean? I think we did quite good, pretty good with that St Mirren reject, didn't we? Yeah, not bad. I think it worked out well for us in the end. As Ridwan says, Andy Cole, Arsenal reject. True. You know, it's that's what happens if you just judge them off on the failures. You'd miss some pretty good players. Tabrez with a super chat says there's only one bold Dutch Premier League manager, and he's Eric Ten Hag. That's hopefully what he's going to do tonight, yeah? So that's hopefully what he's going to do this evening is prove people wrong, indeed. We're already over 700 likes, which is amazing. So if you haven't already clicked the like button, and also, by the way, I can see the mods are in the chat, yeah? Lux Hill's in there, Steffi Jenks is in there. If there are any SummerSlam spoilers, yeah? I'm giving you the powers mods. Time those son of a bitches out, yeah? No spoilers in the chat. No spoilers at all. Disgraceful. Disgraceful behaviour. Yeah? The mods have been given the order.
Disgraceful. Yeah? Absolutely disgraceful.
It's the same as like anyone watching a film or a movie. If they were saying spoilers, yeah, they'd be out. They'd be out. Can't be doing it at all. So mods, you know what to do. If you see it, they're out of there. Yeah? They're out. You've all been warned. Yeah? Yeah? All warned. We won't put up with that this evening. No chance. It's bad enough when people are a little bit ahead as well. Because I see you people too, actually, when you do this. Because this is what happens with some of these. Some obviously will watch it on an American feed. Let's say it's been broadcast on ESPN. And they're like 5 seconds ahead. And they'll jump in the chat and they'll go goal before it goes in. How dare you? How dare you? Look at that, trying to spoil the fun for everyone else. Yeah. The mods are watching. And so am I, yeah? I'll try my best to avoid it, actually, in the chat. But, we're watching. The mods have been given the power this evening. So, if that happens, the mods, they'll be right out of there. They'll be right out, yeah? We know exactly what it's going to be. National Anthem is playing at the moment, or being sung, excuse me. Kickoff should be 10 minutes away. I say should because you never know with these kind of things. There's fireworks, pyrotechnics as well going off. Are they better than this though? I don't think so, yeah? Yeah. One more. That was right in front of me. Very dangerous. Always stand a certain amount of feet back from fireworks. Otherwise, you'll blow your fingers off or something like that. Or burn something down. This is a true story about my dad. I will never let him close to fireworks because he's had some terrible times with fireworks. He burnt down a shed once, our shed, by putting a Catherine wheel on it, and he nailed it in too hard. Didn't spin around, just exploded. Whole thing burnt down. So gotta be careful with fireworks. Very, very careful. I said never again, Dad. I'm not interested. I don't really like them even that much. They're too loud. Okay, that he did that. There was another one where he decided he was going to keep it sturdy by putting it in a plant pot, and it fell over and it blew the plant. This was a metal plant pot. It blew it open like a sunflower, and everyone had to duck down. Ruined fireworks for me after that. Never want to see him again. Rubbish. Terrible. But who burns down a shed with a Catherine wheel? Honestly. Madman. Well, I was worried it wasn't going to be, you know, it was going to spin out of control and fall off. Well, it didn't happen then. It didn't even spin. It didn't even spin. Thing burnt down. A whole shed. with a Catherine wheel. They're not even that good. They're not even big. They just sort of spin around for a bit and then just... This guy's mad. Yeah. I think I've caught up with super chats. Indeed, I am. Less than 10 minutes to go until kickoff. Hopefully, I think I did see then the players just sort of coming back out to onto the pitch or leaving the dressing room, as it were. They're just showing the highlights. I told you it'd get brought up. They're showing the highlights of the Bangkok. Well, that's good because the cop Liverpool. Bangkok centenary trophy victory. Obviously, it's pretty iconic. So you've got to show replays of 4-0. To see that Facundo scored. I forgot that. Look at the size of it. Look how big that trophy is. It's massive. and speaking of pyrotechnics, they had like the smoke going off. They had confetti. Oh, it was mad. Right, let's make sure I'm all ready for this. Indeed, I am. It's a big stadium as well in South Carolina. 77,000. That's loud. Looks to be a lot of people there. Good atmosphere. Oh, they've got one of those... look at that. They've got one of these tunnels where there is... Is that people still trying to get in? Yeah, gridlocked outside the stadium. Although there's still a lot of people in there. But they've got one of those tunnels where there looks to be like a bar or an exclusive club next to the tunnel, which I know they do actually have at Spurs. They have it at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but I think there's a wall there. So the people that are in the club can see through, but the players can't see out. But that's not the case here. There's just people relaxing. They're just up at the bar. They're just up at the bar and, or up there. They've got their food, they've got their drinks, and just the United players are just there, all lined up and ready to go. Look at that. Not bad. Must be expensive to be a member of that club. Players are coming out. I'm making sure I've got all my stuff ready. Teams on their way out. Oh, look at that. Look at the pyro. Good grief. Look at this. You've got the steam, the fire, My pyrotechnics look pathetic in comparison. Oh. It's loud as well, isn't it? I mean, I'm just trying to compete. Just trying to, not really the same, is it? There's not really, can't really compete with that. But that's just how big, yeah, college football is in America. I mean, I don't think we over here in the UK really realise college football is massive. The weekend is dominated by American football. Saturday it's college football, Sunday it's NFL. I mean, the whole really week, because you get like Thursday night football now, don't you? Thursday night football and Monday night football. They have Friday night football? I think they do. But it is, again, massive, huge. That is a 77,000 seater stadium for college football. It is huge. It is massive. As the players exchange pleasantries. Is Casemiro captain in the side once again this evening? I think he is. Whilst they go through the teams, anything they can do, we can also do as well. If you are just joining us, that is the Manchester United starting 11 this evening. In goal, Andre Onana, a back four of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Johnny Evans, Victor Lindelof and Harry Mass, Casemiro alongside Toby Collier, Mason Mount in the 10 position, Amad Diallo once again on the right-hand side, Marcus Rashford on the left, and Jadon Sancho as the false nine. As far as Liverpool, their team is on the screen right there too. Kelleher is in goal, a back four of Bradley, Kwanzaa, Konate and Tsimikas, midfield three of Elliott, Gravenberch and Jones, and that front three of Carvalho. Is it Carvalho or Carvalho? I'm never good at pronouncing that one. I'm going to go Carvalho, but it's probably not Carvalho. It looks like it's Carvalho, isn't it? Carvalho. Diogo Jota, and of course Mo Salah. That is the team news for you there. Look at this, all professional, not bad. We're 5 likes away as well from 750 likes before kickoff, which would be brilliant. A fantastic effort from the UV community this evening. Mo Salah captains Liverpool. Luxhill says, yes, it's Carvalho. It's Carvalho. Easier for me to say. And we did it. We hit 750 likes. Big up the UV community. There's Eric. The best bold manager I've heard this evening. Rene Harker, or as Amad Diallo calls him, the other one. Oh, this better not be the camera angle. If this is the camera angle, by the way, gosh, I don't know if I can watch a match like that. Is that the camera angle? Good grief. It's like a bad FIFA camera angle. You know when someone switches it on FIFA, EA, and you go, what kind of camera angle is this? It looks horrible. It's like sideways like that. Good lord. I can't, first of all, can't even really see the players. Yeah. But, wait, I think that is the camera angle. Holy shit. Wow. Liverpool with the kickoff. I don't know who's going to be taking it. But Liverpool in their new away kit. Manchester United in the away kit for this season. They're going to have to do so many close-ups. Oh, it's an MLS referee again. That's another thing. The refereeing on this tour has been horrific. It's been just awful, hasn't it? It really has been terrible. 3, 2, 1, and we are off. It is the camera angle. We're gonna have to deal with it. We're gonna have to deal with it. Is Simicast. Tries to put the cross in. Wan-Bissaka blocked. Casemiro. Nice 1-2 that. Casemiro plays it out wide toward Marcus Rashford. Keeps the ball in. Oh, it's horrible. It's really horrible. I feel like I'm watching it at an angle. Like that. Maybe if I watch it like this, it now seems better. Ah, lovely. Much straighter. Nice. Good God. Lindelof plays it out wide. Ahmad. Okay, fuck it. I feel like I'm going to pass out. I feel like I've, I don't know, I've got vertigo. The room's spinning or something. Or I'm like that. God. Collier dispossessed, but the ball will go back to Andre Onana. Erik ten Hag already barking orders at his team. Long ball forward towards Marcus Rashford. And that's launched up the pitch towards Andre Onana. Honestly. Onana plays it to Victor Lindelof. It is mad. I'd like to be optimistic and be like, we'll get used to it, but I don't know if we will. Liverpool win the possession high up the field. But they're going to play it back. I have to remember, this isn't the old Liverpool. This is Arne Slot's version. So different, I guess, pass goes out for a Manchester United throw-in. Different tactics, different system. Maybe they have to have the camera angle up this high just to avoid the shine on both of the heads of Erik ten Hag and Arne Slot. Amas with the throw. Lindelof. Pass it towards Mason Mount. Good flick that. Here comes Jadon Sancho. Down the left-hand side, Marcus Rashford's going to travel with the ball. Gives it towards Toby Collier into the box. Just couldn't really get the touch. I'm already thinking like this is going to be difficult for me to provide analysis at half-time and full-time because I'm half paying attention to the camera angle the whole time. I'm constantly going to be like, oh. Here's Johnny Evans. Out to Andre Onana. Very high up the pitch. Look at that. Sweeper keeper. Onana tried the ball over the top towards Collier. Goes all the way to Kelleher. In goal for Liverpool. Simicast. Oh, it's Casemiro. Had a nibble. He had a nibble on Curtis Jones. I really hope the referee's just not ridiculous today because, I mean, if you didn't watch the game live or you didn't watch the whole game against Real Betis on Wednesday, that referee genuinely might have been the worst referee I've ever seen in my life. That's a poor pass by Liverpool. Lindelof intercepts Marcus Rashford. Tried to play it toward Jadon Sancho, but it was actually behind him. It was a poor pass in the end. That's well played by Harry Amas. Wins the ball back high up the pitch. Collier to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka's going to travel. Out wide. Here's Ahmad. Ahmad shoots, tries to whip it over the bar. But good tackle by Harry Amas. Wins the ball high up the pitch. Created something there. I would say, I think 5 minutes in, your eyes start to adjust, don't they, to the camera angle. It's a bit jarring at first. Bit of a shock. But you begin to adjust. I think I've adjusted. I'm okay. There's bushes around the pitch. Look, there's hedge. I'd love to know the sort of design behind that. What this stadium needs is more hedge. Get it there. As Liverpool playing out from the back, here's Kelleher to Kwanzaa. Goes long. That's a terrible pass. We'll go all the way back to Andre Onana in goal. Johnny Evans. Bit of a heavy touch by Harry Amass. He's got to recover. Well, Lindelof might be in a bit of trouble here. Here's Gravenberch. Simicast. Elliott. There was a bit of a flick on. Bradley puts it across goal. And Casemiro wins it back. And he goes down. Very clever. Wasn't a lot in that. Casemiro, very clever. But that's where that's where you do look at Amass, when you just sort of that's been my point with him. I think people have been praising him, which I do think some of it is justified. He's done well on this tour, but I think people have been very quick to be like, we don't need a left back this season because we've got Harry Amass, and it's like, well, he's doing all right, but there are still elements of the game because he's young. Like, I don't even fault him for it. I kind of expect it. That there are just physicality, sloppy touches here and there. That's going to happen. So we just need to be a bit... Rashford just smashed it up the pitch. Towards Ahmad. Going to try and have a go at Simicast. Simicast. I mean, he's putting pressure on. No foul. Well done. Well done, Mason Mount. But yeah, with Amass, it just needs more time to develop. But good in intensity there from Ahmad and Mason Mount. As Liverpool now play out from the back. Nearly 7 minutes gone. Still 0-0 in Columbia, South Carolina. It's a good turn there by Kwanzaa. Now Konate on the ball. Oh, well done by Amad Diallo. Wins it back high up the pitch. Pass wasn't great towards Casemiro. It's unlucky because he's done the press really well there. And to be fair, that's a poor pass. Here comes Collier. Collier intercepts. Gives it out. Shoots! Mason Mount. Oh. And it's a save by Kelleher. And I tell you what, Manchester United, that's 3 or 4 times already, win the ball high up the pitch. That's a foul, referee. No, you're not giving a foul. But United a couple of times win the ball high up the pitch. It was actually just a poor pass, but it's intercepted by Collier. And it's a good pass to Mason Mount. Hits it low. There you should get a bit more on the corner, but it's a chance. I think he kind of snatches at it a bit. But United pressing up very high. Good energy thus far. I think he should do better there, Mason Mount, really. I thought, by the way, that was a clear foul on Ahmad. I can't believe they've given a foul. They're not given a foul, by the way. He went right through the back of him. But that's a chance. But I like this from United. I like that they're allowing Liverpool to play on the edge of their box. But they're like, once you get that pass a little bit in, we'll be all over you. Let's see how good your passing is. There's good energy. Look, and once again, United winning it. That's not a foul either. Casemiro, good tackle. Good energy from Toby Collier and Mason Mount. Yeah, once they sort of just wait for it to get into the areas where you'll be just surrounded by red shirts. Look at that again. Casemiro wins it back. Poor pass by Wan-Bissaka though. Now here come Liverpool on the attack. Mo Salah is going to cut inside. Try to pass into the box. It's going to get deflection. And it's out to Jota. Oh, edge of the box. Oh, he's been done, Casemiro. He's been done. Gravenberch. That's such a poor goal. Oh, it's not going to count. Is it going to count? I guess it's going to. What the hell's going on? Commentator said it didn't count. Then it does count. But that's a really poor goal by Manchester United to concede. Because they'd won the ball back so well, and you can trace it back to Wan-Bissaka, gives the ball away. Won it back. Wan-Bissaka gave the ball away. A lot happens after that. Casemiro just gets absolutely done, by the way. Absolutely done. Look. But it's a really poor goal. First of all, like I said, you can trace it back to they won the ball back. Wan-Bissaka gives it away. Really sloppy pass. And then after that, Casemiro standing right there in front of him. Just gets completely sold. It's a really poor goal to concede. Really, really poor. But, you know, people want to say that. And again, this is kind of the point when you're looking at your fullbacks, isn't it? It's when you're thinking about your fullbacks. You need to be comfortable on the ball. You need to be comfortable on the ball with passing, not sloppy passing. Mason Mount tried to turn. No. Here come United again. Can they react quick? Mason Mount. Casemiro. Amas and Collier plays it back to Victor Lindelof. Yeah, two players you would look at for that goal, wouldn't you? You'd look at Wan-Bissaka for the first pass, and you'd look at Casemiro just getting embarrassed. I mean, got put on his ass. Back to Johnny Evans. But still plenty of time to go. Manchester United 0, Liverpool 1. Just a very sloppy goal. And to be honest, Man United themselves could have been 1-0 up. Mason Mount had a chance too. Lindelof. Here's a mess. Marcus Rashford. Rashford tried to play through the middle of the legs. Here's Casemiro. Ball over to us. A brilliant ball. Touch. Mason Mount. Oh. Saved by Kelly again. Now that's a brilliant pass by Casemiro. And Mason Mount, that's 2 chances now. He could have had 2 goals. Jadon Sancho, that's a good pass too. Collier, across goal. And again, that's the frustrating thing about being 1-0 down, is that we've been a better team. Much better team. Look at this pass. Great run by Mason Mount. Definitely onside. That's a brilliant pass by Casemiro. Really good pass over the top. Oh, Liverpool give it away again. Marcus Rashford! Well, Rashford just tried to take it first time, killed it wide. Man United could have been easily 3-1 up here. Easily 3-1 up. Literally, Liverpool would have 1-0. But how Man United haven't scored, I don't know. Look at this. Liverpool trying to play out for the back. Not the first time they've done a misplaced pass. Rashford, it's not even really that close in the end. But Liverpool have had 1 attack they've scored. We should have had at least 2 goals. Maybe 3. My goodness. I mean, it's been an all-action 13 or 14 minutes. Liverpool got the goal. Man United could have had many. Apart, and this is good. This is it'll sound stupid analysis, but apart from the goal we conceded, we've played really well. We've actually played really, really well. We've got a lot of energy, good press, created chances. Can't finish, and just some sloppy passes. Ball into the box. Andre Onana picks that one up. It's Casemiro. That's poor from Jadon Sancho. Ball given away. Casemiro with the slide. And to be honest, like Liverpool, again, they're not. This is what's kind of mad with them. I think if you're a Liverpool fan, you'd look at it and go, I can't believe we're 1-0 up. They haven't played great at all. They look, honestly, Liverpool playing out from the back actually look really uncomfortable. Because 2 or 3 times already, they've tried to play out and they've done really poor passes. Just giving it to United. A more clinical team would have had at least a goal at this point. But 15 minutes in, I'd say we've played well. We're just losing. Lindelof goes all the way back to Andre Onana. Onana once again plays it out to Wan-Bissaka. Better by Wan-Bissaka. Beats Carvalho. Tell you what, you asked a lot of Johnny Evans with that pass as well. Now United give the ball away. Luckily it's a poor pass from Liverpool that'll go all the way back to the goalkeeper. Less than 200 likes into 1,000 by the way. Here's Marcus Rashford off the left. Rashford cuts inside, gives it to Collier again. Wasn't the best pass. Collier had kind of ran past it a bit. But now here come Liverpool on the counter-attacks. 3-on-3. Mo Salah. Got to be careful. Reverse pass and Amas just deals with it in the end. But still, Rashford skips past the fullback like he's not even there. End product. Gives it to Jadon Sancho. Sancho lifts it. Rashford out wide. Give it to Ahmad. Ahmad into the box. It's Amad Diallo. Step over. Cuts it back. Oh, fucking. By the way, okay, so Wan-Bissaka, in terms of the 15 minutes that he has had, yeah? Wan-Bissaka give it away for that goal. He just put a ball into the box, which he knew was a lazy ball. He knew, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm just going to try and put it into the box there. My goodness me. In terms of the people that are trying to sort of say, "Oh, Wamby should stay. He's got to stay." He's not doing himself any favors. It's going to be a foul. And the thing is, if you're good, this is the point. If you're going to play like this, this like 18 minutes here is proving the point that people are making. It's not in doubt about Aaron Wan-Bissaka's defensive ability. It's not in doubt about that at all as one-on-one defending. If you're going to play like this, though, and you need people that are technically proficient on the ball, can play out from the back, can play in tight spaces, you need more. You need more. You need better technical ability. And that's not a slight against him. That's not Wan-Bissaka's rubbish or anything like that. That's just saying, from a system point of view, you do need more. Mason Mount tried the free kick. But Man United 1-0 down. It's nearly 80 minutes gone. But Man United have been by far... That's a poor pass. But been by far the better team. Much more the ball. Created more chances. More intensity. Not clinical enough. And just some really stupid errors. That's a foul, but I like it. I like Mason Mount as a foul. I'm happy with that kind of pressure from the back. That's the one thing with Mason Mount in this game. He should have at least got a goal thus far, but you can't fault his intensity. His intensity in pressing from the front has been very good. But those people that are like, oh, you know, United, no style of play. It's looking pretty style of play-ish at the moment, isn't it? It's high pressing. It's once again, you can see, Liverpool give the ball away again. Here we go. Here come United on the attack. Can they make something from it this time? Here's Ahmad, right-hand side. Poor final pass, this time from Ahmad. That's the thing. The thing that has summed up this game thus far is our final ball has been rubbish. Mo Salah shoots, picked up by Onana. But United's pressing and United's intensity has been really, really good. Chance creation or getting into good areas has been really good. But final pass, take a breath. There's Collier. But I would say it's been encouraging. Very, very encouraging. The Devil's Advocate says, where's the intensity and directness gone? It's all over this game, isn't it? Man United are playing way more intense than Liverpool are at the moment. You kidding me? Man United have been pressing from the front consistently. Liam Jones said, hold on, Owen. Wan-Bissaka has been fine. I'm getting tired of this historical idea. He's poor going forward, mate. If you say Wan-Bissaka in this game has been fine, that is just not true. Wan-Bissaka, part of the goal, he gave the ball away, and then 2, he had a ability to put the ball in the box. It went out for a throw. I don't even know if it bounced in the box. Like, in terms of you're saying this historical idea that he's not good going forward, this game is not doing that good evidence, is it? That's not the case. Goes up for a throw. To Man United. Mason Mount. Ball across. Goal! Oh, he should score again. Shane Sancho. Just doesn't head it. Just flicks it on. Should score. Man United could have had 4 goals. Legitimately. And Collier, that's a foul. Now, Liam Jones says, in my defense, I've only watched the last 5 minutes. Why do people do this? Why do people do this? I've had this before sometimes on the full-time view. People go on and talk about the game, and I go, oh, what did you think of the game? They go, well, I didn't watch. What? I haven't been watching, but that's not true. Well, if you have just joined in, Man United are 1-0 down. They should be at least like 3-1 up, or 4-1 up. Been by far the better team. Very intense, very high press. Created a bunch of chances. Haven't been able to take them. A really sloppy goal conceded. Ball was won back. Wan-Bissaka gave it away. Casemiro then got put on his ass, and it kind of just trickled into the back of the net. That's the only chance Liverpool created as well. What will be interesting too, is how long Man United can keep up this level of intensity for. That's a better pass by Wan-Bissaka. Casemiro, good switch out to Rashford. Right, Rashford off the left. Cuts inside, Rashford. Where's he going? Mason Mount, good pass. Ahmad cuts it back. Rashford. That's tipped wide by Kelleher. Much better again by Man United. Marcus Rashford, I was worried for half a second there. I was thinking, is he going to do the blind alley? Marcus Rashford cutting. But in the end, does the pass. That's good pass by Mason Mount too to Ahmad. Gives it back to Rashford. Wasn't the best pass, kind of sort of was bouncing. Rashford didn't really connect with it, but actually nearly helped. That's a good save by Kelleher. Kelleher is a good goalkeeper, by the way. But this is what I mean. Man United, for 25 minutes nearly here, have been by far the better team. It's not the first save Kelleher's made. Kelleher's already made 3 saves in this match. Corner, it's an in-swinger. Back to Rashford. Good turn! Oh, that's so unlucky. It's really good play by Marcus Rashford, that. That's a great turn-in shot. Look at this. Bounces, completely does him. Look at that. Really unlucky. I think the keeper might save it, actually. But Rashford's looked sharp again. Brilliant spinning shot. How United are 1-0 down, I tell you what, it's just been done there. Wan-Bissaka. Here come Liverpool on the counter-attack. Curtis Jones. Wan-Bissaka. Well, that's the good part of his play, isn't it? That's his play. Recovery tackle. That's Wan-Bissaka. There's no problem with that at all. Great tackle. United again. Ahmad. Mason Mount. Sancho. Can you get out your feet? Marcus Rashford. Sancho. Oh, good pass by Jadon Sancho. Here's Wan-Bissaka. Ball in. Flicks. Oh. Honestly. How have Man United not scored? We're all over them. We are all over them. Oh. 25 minutes in, and Man United could easily be like 4 or 5-1 up. Brilliant play. Man United have been first half brilliant. Really, really good football. Quarter ball. It's an in-swinger again. Headed away by a Liverpool player this time. And the thing is, this is going to be one of those games where if, let's say, it does end up 1-0, yeah, people that haven't watched the game will be like, oh, Man United lost or whatever. Or people that, if they haven't watched the first 26 minutes, will come in and be like, oh, Man United are losing. Shock. Look at this recovery tackle by Wan-Bissaka. That's Wan-Bissaka. That's a classic Wan-Bissaka. He is the best at that. He is the best at that. But if you haven't watched this 26 minutes, you'd be like, oh, United are losing. But it doesn't tell the story at all. Man United, the only thing they can do more is score. I can't even criticise, you know what I mean? I'm not going to criticise the build-up play. I can't criticise the press. I can maybe criticise some of the defending a little bit. But I can't, there's not a lot to criticise. Erik ten Hag says we need to start moving the ball a lot faster. We really don't. Let's face it. How we're playing at the moment is creating chances. If you were Ten Hag, the only thing you would say is just be a bit more composed in and around the box. That's it. You wouldn't be like, oh, move the ball quicker, when, be more direct. It's, you're not playing well. Gravenberch. Connor Bradley tries a ball over the top. Oh, Johnny Evans and Andre Onana made a right mess of that. And that's going to go out for a corner. Johnny Evans not happy with Onana. He's saying, tell me if you want it or not. This is where it's a bit unfortunate that you don't have, a Joshua Zirkzee, isn't it, on the tour, because some of the chances we've had in this game would have been ideal for him. Simicast with the corner for Liverpool. It's going to be an in-swinger. Ball in. Oh, Onana. Looked like he was there for catch. He dropped it. It's a really poor ball by Bradley. Goes out for a goal kick. But Onana, as far as sort of 60 seconds there go, very shaky. Not the best communication with Johnny Evans, and comes out and just... I thought he was going to do with the Onana punch. Looks like he goes to catch it and just drops it. Which is a bit concerning. But United play out from the back again. Lindelof was a bit of a shaky pass that back to Onana. That was very short. It's one of those ones where I look bad because I go, Onana kicked out for touch, but that was a very, very short pass back to him by Victor Lindelof. Into the 30th minute, Manchester United 0, Liverpool 1. A very positive 30 minutes though by Man United. Super chat from George, appreciate the contribution. Says, big up Owen, big up UV. You are good in commentary, top of the list. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that, George. Appreciate everyone that's tuning in for this late night game, or early morning game, depending on how you look at it. Here come Liverpool, Harvey Elliott. Ball over the top. Mo Salah. It's a good pass, but he was offside. Miles offside. And even though he was offside, Amas managed to recover. I just remembered as well, 15 minutes to half time, if we're losing, I'm sure we'll get a totally fine reaction to what's actually been a very good performance in the first half. We're losing! We're losing again! Ah. Onana, poor pass, really poor pass. Pass back to Kelleher in goal for Liverpool. As Liverpool playing out from the back, which, again, they've looked very shaky doing so. That's a poor pass. Wan-Bissaka's got to get out to it. Stretching tackle. It's going to be a Liverpool throw. I thought that came off of a Liverpool player. Oh. Liverpool still get the ball. Jota. Liam Jones says, Owen is fantastic, very passive aggressive, but a real stalwart of the channel. Well, sometimes... Oh, Gravenberg. Here comes Liverpool. Ball in! Andre Nana picks it up. Well, sometimes the passive aggressiveness comes from just lunacy, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like coming in and going, oh, Wan-Bissaka, he's played well. And you go, have you watched the whole game, Liam? No, just the last 5 minutes. Oh. Abbas. Lindelof. Onana. Ball out to Ahmad. Wan-Bissaka. That's a better pass by Wan-Bissaka. Johnny Evans with a switch out to Marcus Rashford. It's a good pass. And a good touch by Rashford too. Rashford switch. Why is Rashford getting booed, by the way? There's a good pass by Rashford out to Ahmad. Ahmad's into the box. Cuts inside. Ball back. No, that's not good. I tell you what, Ahmad maybe hasn't had the best start thus far, to be honest with you. A couple of times he's had the ball out on the right-hand side, tried to cut in. Not done the best pass. That's very sloppy. It's a throw in. Bradley to take. Game just maybe slowing down a little bit. You can actually see Erik ten Hag going like that, going speed up again. Keep it going. Ball over the top by Casemiro. Toward Ahmad, but goes all the way back to Kelleher. The intensity has just dropped. Maybe the last sort of 5 minutes or so from Man United. That's what I was talking about earlier on. It's going to be interesting to see how long Manchester United could keep up that sort of super intense press. Ball headed by Johnny Evans. Collier, good turn. Casemiro. Out to Wan-Bissaka. To Ahmad. Collier gives it back to Johnny Evans. As Liverpool all behind the ball. You can see Eric Ten Hag pointing towards Marcus Rashford. What is that? This is sometimes the frustrating thing with Rashford, isn't it? We start trying stuff. You know what I mean? Bruno can do that too. That pass was just ridiculous. And now here come Liverpool. And if they score from this, you'll trace it back to Marcus Rashford's poor pass. Ball in behind. That's sort of punched away. Here come United on the counter-attack. Good. Oh, it wasn't the best pass by Collier. I thought Rashford was going to run onto it. Salah's in the box. Puts it in. 2-0. That's just... Again, really poor. That's how you clinical. That's how you clinical. That's the difference in this game. That's the difference. You've got a Manchester United side that have dominated the game. Liverpool have had a couple of chances, clinical. Boom. That's it. Salah in behind, puts it across goal. You know, I'd say whose man it is. Wan-Bissaka's behind Curtis Jones. I don't know who's tracking the run either. It's poor. Two-0 to Liverpool. To be honest, though, I mean, I can say about them not deserving it. The commentator said they've not deserved it, but they've been clinical. If they've scored, they've had 2 chances and scored twice, and the defending from both goals has been really poor. That's the problem. That's the difference. If you can create a bunch of chances, but if you don't take them, then you don't deserve to be in front. That's the way football works. Here come Liverpool again. Mo Salah. Collier. Wan-Bissaka. Is he here? What, can anyone explain why Marcus Rashford's being booed? Why is Rashford being booed? Is there anything particularly that he's done? Is Harry a mess? Oh, that's poor as well, giving the ball away. We've done stuff like that too often too. Look, making it difficult for ourselves now. Jota. Simicast. "38 minutes gone, Liverpool 2-0 up. Oh, he's just been completely done there. Cuts it back. At Manchester United, some of the defending is not good. Properly look at 6s and 7s. Victor Lindelof's limping now. Yeah, Man United had a really good 30 minutes. Could have been scored 4 or 5 goals. Not putting the team to bed. Not being clinical. And then sloppy errors lead to goals. I mean, you know, in terms of the sort of defence, as I mentioned, that isn't going to be Man United's defence this season. But that from Mamas there, not good. Not good enough. But with about 5 minutes left of this first half, 2-0 down. Be interesting to see, again, if they make any subs at half time or if it will go to like 60, 65 minutes, something like that. And that, what did I say about Harry Amass? Going that he's done well in pre-season, and this isn't a critique of him saying he's washed, he's not going to be good. Sancho, but gives the ball away there. Just that idea of we don't need to get a fullback because we've got Harry Amass. That's not it. Here's Mo Salah. Does well there though. That's better. And just put it out for a throw. Granger says kicking the young boy. Oh, that's exactly what I'm doing. Yeah, it's all the young kids' faults. This is another thing I don't get, man. As well, like you criticize. I mean, it's happened so many times in pre-season, by the way. So like earlier on, Wan-Bissaka gives the ball away. Why do you hate Wan-Bissaka for? I remember, what game was it? Was it Rangers? Like Casemiro had a mad 10 minutes. That's a foul on Jadon Sancho. And then it goes. Why do you hate Casemiro? Every time you criticize him, it's why do you hate this player? Oh. Go. That's pass by Casemiro. Turn. Wins a foul there. Ahmad. Harry Amass. Rashford's on the overlap. Better pass. Collier. Oh. There's a cross goal. And that was a save from Kelleher. Papa J says, so we are going into another season unprepared, LOL. But this is the thing. Like, for 30 minutes, we were saying about how great we were playing. The reason we're losing is because defensively we're not that great. But why would we be surprised if defensively we're not great when our back four is Wan-Bissaka, Evans, Lindelof, and Amass? Of course, that defensively is not going to be great. None of those players will be ball into the box. Starting members of the back four in the season. You'll have Dallo and probably Mazraoui. You'll have Leacher, hopefully Delit, Yoro when he's back, and obviously Luke Shaw. Granger says exactly. So let's stay composed. Well, this how is going? Man United have played really well. We've conceded some sloppy goals, but we've arguably been the better team, not being composed. Or going with Harry Amass, he's done well in the tour, but he might not be ready. That's a good tackle by him. That's not being composed. Not being composed would be like, we're losing 2-0, we're going to get relegated. That's a throw to Manchester United. Is Casemiro. Rashford. I guess it's just Liverpool fans booing Rashford. Casemiro, poor pass. Which means I hate Casemiro, obviously. Poor pass by Casemiro. This obviously means get him out of the club. Terrible. Toby Collier's done pretty well in this first half. She looked pretty intense. I mean, for the goal, I think he kind of gets sold a bit, which again means I can't stand him, obviously. That's going to be a foul on Mo Salah. But yeah, if you were going to put a pros and cons of the half of Manchester United, wouldn't it? You would say that build-up play has been good. Pressing has been good. Intensity, for the majority of it, was good. What's been poor? Finishing, obviously, not clinical enough. And 2, defensively, looks shaky. But you would expect that. You would expect that with a, with a back four that isn't the normal back four. Here's a free kick ball into the box. That's going to be offside. And that's going to be half-time. Manchester United 2-0 down. I mean, you could say it doesn't tell the story of the first half, which I suppose... But I suppose it really does. It does tell the story of the first half in the sense that, the story is that Manchester United did play well for the large majority of it. The story is that Manchester United did create a lot of chances, didn't finish them. Liverpool only created a couple of chances, but were far, far, far more clinical. I think if you were going to judge, take a step back from the freak out, which is going to be Manchester United, we're not ready, we're going to get relegated, blah, 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 which once again, this is not the strongest Manchester United team in the world. I would look at parts of that first half and say there were some really encouraging signs. The sort of negatives are probably negatives we already know, in terms of that back four. If that back four is playing in the Premier League, a lot's gone wrong for us. But I think there are encouraging signs with the intensity, pressing, chance creation. My goodness me, a good chance creation just needs to be more clinical. When you're that on top, you've got to put at least one chance away. I mean, Kelleher, how many saves has he made in that first half? Like 3 or 4 or something. So. Again, from a pre-season game, I think actually you talk about what you look for in pre-season. You look for learnings, really, don't you? What can you take away from it? You talk about getting minutes in the legs, getting match sharpness. Manchester United certainly have looked much sharper than they have in the earlier games, which is what you would want to see. I think the attacking build-up has been good. With the youngsters, it kind of confirms what you already kind of knew. So for instance, Harry Amass, you would say that there are some really encouraging moments where he's quite good on the ball at certain points. For the goal, when you're going up against sort of more senior wingers or whatever, you're going to get done and you're going to get exposed. And that's why we need to be careful with this. We don't need to worry about fullbacks. We've got Harry Massey, can be backup. Again, I wouldn't go as far as that. You would look at Wan-Bissaka on the right-hand side. That first half was probably as best of a snapshot of the pros and cons of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, wouldn't it? You'd be like, he makes a really good last-ditch tackle, which he wins the ball. Probably only Aaron Wan-Bissaka can do that tackle when they're on the attack. But for the first goal, gives the ball away with a poor pass. He had ability to cross the ball in the box, completely smashed it out. That's Aaron Wan-Bissaka. That's maybe why they're looking for someone a bit more technical. Ahmad, I think Ahmad will probably be a bit disappointed with that first half too. Did have the ball a couple of times on the right-hand side. Didn't really create all that much from it. Mason Mount, there'll be positive and negatives. Positive from Mason Mount is he was pressing really high up the pitch. Won the ball back a couple of times. I really liked his pressing, but he should have scored. He should have at least a goal. He had 2 chances. One was a bit more gilt-edged than the other, but he should score. Marcus Rashford looked actually quite sharp in that first half. Couple of chances. He had a really good turn and shoot. That was just wide. Keeper might have got a touch to it. Maybe as the half went on, he started to do that sort of Marcus Rashford thing where he starts kind of forcing stuff because maybe he's starting to get a bit frustrated. Jadon Sancho, maybe not as involved as he would want to be. Again, couple of nice touches, but also a couple of poor ones. Andre Onana, bit shaky as well. Miscommunication with Johnny Evans. Came out to claim a cross, kind of flapped it a bit. So, again, as you would expect in pre-season, positive and negatives. I'm not one for that whole, it doesn't really tell the story of the first half, because I think the scoreline does tell the story of the first half. You've got a Liverpool team that don't need to create 10 chances to score a goal. They only need to create 2 chances, they'll score 2 goals. Man United look like a team that maybe doesn't have a striker because they can't finish a chance, and also look like a team that don't have any of their starting defenders playing at the moment too. So there's that you can take from it. But I think there'll be parts of that first half that Erik ten Hag will be really happy with, because for 35 minutes they look really good, really good. But you've got to take chances against big teams, especially with clinical players. Sirens in the chat, doesn't matter what time it is. Against big teams, if you're not clinical, they will be. That's it. They will be clinical. They will be clinical. But what I would say, and maybe this is the best way to look at it, is, well, if Man United can play like that, if Man United are playing with that kind of style from an attacking point of view, without, again, sort of 6 or 7 first team nailed down starters, then that's surely a good thing, because as you add more quality into that team, theoretically, it should get better, should it not? You know, you've got people to come back. You've got Diogo Dalot to come back. You've got Lisandro Martinez to come back. You know, Lenny Yoro, when he's back from injury, to come back. You've got Luke Shaw to come back. You've got Bruno Fernandes to come back. You've got Alejandro Garnacho to come back. You've got Joshua Zirkzee to come into that team. You've got Rasmus Højlund as well. I mean, that's like 8 players, you know, to come into a side that actually played pretty well in that first half. So certainly it is not doom and gloom. Certainly it is not freak out. Man United are terrible. This is the problem. Erik ten Hag exposed. To be honest with you, with that back 4 that's out, I'd be surprised if Mo Salah didn't get some joy. He should get some joy against that back 4. Why wouldn't he get some joy against that back 4? With their, say with Jota too, he should get some joy against them. So, and with the young players, as far as they might not be totally ready yet, which they shouldn't expect it to be, there's encouraging signs from them as well. There's encouraging signs for them. They're not going to be starting games, but when everyone's fit and available, because they're senior, experienced, and better right now players ahead of them. But this will be very beneficial for them. So, yeah, I think again, I'm sure the freak out and the narrative will be put out there. But I think if you watch the first half, you would say there was a lot of encouraging signs there. And again, just because you say there was encouraging signs doesn't necessarily mean what you said there wasn't any mistakes. Of course there was mistakes. Of course there was performances that should have been better. But it's a pre-season friendly. This team, if this starting 11 started for United this season, you'd really wonder what's happened. I mean, that would be one hell of an injury crisis, wouldn't it? So it's not worth the certainly a freak out at all. The goals that we did concede are disappointing because they were really avoidable, really, wouldn't they? You look at Salah getting in behind, which again, that happens to the best defenders, let alone, how old's Harry Mass? Was he 17 or something? Mo Salah's going to get in behind. That's what's going to happen, The frustrating thing would be the ball cross goal. Who's tracking runners? Who's checking their shoulder? Wan-Bissaka kind of gets, Curtis Jones gets a bit ahead of him. That's disappointing. The first goal is really disappointing because it's a really poor goal, the first one, because it starts from, again, we win the ball back. Wan-Bissaka gives the ball away. Then after that, Casemiro looks like his knees collapse. And that's a poor goal to concede. But Man United, if they had a bit more of a clinical edge, would have had at least a goal, maybe even more than that. So I think it's certainly not time to freak out, or certainly not. Manchester United are awful, are terrible. Because I think, to be honest, the only logical way to look at it would be, man, if we're playing like that with your shell of your first team, not to say there's not first team players in there, because there is, but to say that Man United are playing like that, creating like that, with quite still a lot of people missing, really encouraging. I didn't even bring up Cobby as well, didn't I? I didn't even bring up Cobby. If you look at the players that aren't available or not in that team at the moment, you'd have a completely different back 4, completely different. You wouldn't have Collier in midfield. You'd have Kobbie Mainoo. Just Kobbie Mainoo dropping into that team. Just Kobbie. You have Bruno Fernandes into that team too. And you'd have a striker if when Hoyland's fit, hopefully too. Not bad. I think that team would be playing pretty well, wouldn't they? So, I think that's encouraging signs. Definitely encouraging signs. And some of the negatives are really to be expected. They kind of just confirm, they really just put sort of the stuff you already know out there, which is for the goals, particular. Wan-Bissaka, not great on the ball. Casemiro gets done, a bit rash. Some of the young players, they still got a way to go, but they're young players, which would be expected. That's not really a revelation, is it? That's not really a massive revelation for that. Oh, Man United just can't put teams away or can't get goals. I mean, that was something that was into last season too, wasn't it? My goodness me. Some of the games we had last season, if we were clinical, it would have been totally different, wouldn't it? I remember our second game of the season when we played Spurs at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. People forget that game. Like, we had so many chances earlier on and we didn't take. Or we'd have these times where we would play and we sort of laugh about it, don't we, saying, the 20, 25 minute or 30 minute intensity period. But if you make it count during that period of time, then probably you would have a better control of the game. The problem is we'd be like a boxer that would come out in the first 2 rounds and go for the knockout, go for everything, do everything, have chances to knock out, we just don't do it for whatever reason. And then like 30 minutes, we're like, we're spent. What are we gonna do? And everyone looks around going, you should have easily knocked him out by now. What are you doing? Yeah, it's mad. But yeah, what are people in the chat saying? Probably a mixture, I would assume. Probably a mixture of freaking out and then being rational, probably. But like I said, it's predictable, really. Predictable that freak outcome, because that would, again, we do it every game. We do it every game when the team comes out, half time, full time, even if we're winning as well. even if we're winning, we'll do it. But they're just showing all the highlights back now. You almost forget how many chances Man United created in that first half. To be honest, thinking back to this tour so far, I'd probably say that first sort of 30 minutes was probably the best United played in a pre-season, in all honesty. Played pretty well first 20 minutes against Arsenal, then the injuries just completely knocked the stuffing out of us. Played well against Real Betis, but I would say we played better here, Oh, WC Belfast unhappy. Oh, God. Oh. Read the comments! No, I won't read yours. Thriller says, it's encouraging to see that the players seem to have a plan, patterns of play, like everyone says. What else are people saying? Fran says the youngsters are getting cooked, but they're learning. I wouldn't even say that. I wouldn't say they're getting cooked or anything like that. Like, I saw Collier contributing that first half. Harry MS. There are parts of the first half he did well. Obviously, when you're fullback and you're playing up against Mo Salah, you're probably going to lead up to a goal. But I wouldn't say they're getting cooked or anything like that. They're just they're young players. That's what's going to happen. Flay G says we're fine. It's pre-season with half a squad stitched with youths and makeshift combinations. I would agree. Prod by Palmeiras says the internet will internet. What else are people saying? Hopefully the Belfast guys are happier now. How dare I? Oh man, I hate to say I told you so, but that's what happens. It just, honestly, it's utterly predictable. Utterly predictable. Even if we were winning, we'd be doing the same. There's 3 stages. There's 3 stages of it. And to be honest, I mean, if you were a Liverpool fan, not that I really care, but if you're a Liverpool fan, I think you would look at that first half. Obviously, you'd be happy that you were winning and you were clinical. But I think from a Liverpool point of view, there would be parts of it they'd be quite concerned about. I think what they would be a bit concerned about would be they've made some massive errors passing out from the back. Like 2 or 3 times, Man United have been really pressed up against them, and they've made errors passing from the back. But again, Man United just can't make it count. It's not clinical. They're not clinical enough to make it count there. So if I'd be worried a little bit if I was Liverpool that might be. Put it this way, I've seen that version of a performance by Manchester United quite a lot last season. Not when I'm talking about Liverpool here, where we have played games where we haven't played necessarily great, trying to play out from the back, bit edgy, couple of mistakes, and then we score on a counter-attack. And I've seen the same Manchester United fans then go, well, I don't know, papered over the cracks. Not very sustainable if you play like that. Because Liverpool they've had possession. A couple of times they've just been playing on the counter-attack. They've just been playing on the break. And it'll be interesting to see what their reaction would be to that. Because they've been, like I said, a couple of counter-attacks. But when we do that, it's not sustainable football, which is interesting. Some changes here. Courtesy says so it's not Liverpool's back 5 though. No Alisson, Trent, Virgil van Dijk or Robinson. That's true. It's not Manchester United's back 4 as well. This is the point. It's pre-season, isn't it? It's just pre-season. There's lots of people missing. Odin says, what counter-attack have we had in this game? I don't know. Are you a United fan or a Liverpool fan? Because Liverpool have definitely had counter-attacks in this game. And again, that's not like a slight, but I'm a big advocate. I'm a massive advocate of there's not one way to play football, by the way. Oh, Man United, when have we had counter-attacks? Well, define a counter-attack, I suppose, because we've had times where we've won the ball high up the pitch. But this is the point, when we're playing counter-attack, we get criticised and we shouldn't be doing that. I want to see us dominate the game. Why don't we dominate the game enough? We can't win. We can't win. Play counter-attack, that's not good enough. Press high up the pitch, can't do it long enough. Try and play with intensity or possession. It's too boring. So there have been some subs. We'll wait and see what they say the changes are. So Kelleher's been sub for Liverpool, know that. Just trying to see which players are coming back out. So Liverpool changing their keeper. They haven't showed the United subs just yet. Looks like McTominay, Bennett and Fish are coming on. So now it looks like we've got even less senior players at the back. By the way, so it looks like Evans, Lindelof, and Rashford, I think, are off. Maybe again that's precautionary with Rashford considering his knock. And we're off for the second half. So just so people, before the freak out again happens, our back four is currently Wan-Bissaka, Bennett, Fish, and Amas. Let's just remember that. Let's remember that. No, I know there are empty words. As Liverpool goalkeeper has the ball at the moment. So we'll see who's moving there as well. It looks like McTominay's in the 10 and Mount's out wide. So McTominay's in the 10. And Mason Mount looks to be out wide left, perhaps. Which again, this is when you see how sort of makeshift this is because of the players that aren't available, plus a couple of injuries too. Wan-Bissaka down the right. But you see, actually, it looks a bit like it's actually back to kind of like that sort of 4-2-2 a little bit, because which we saw at the end of the season, didn't we, with Bruno and McTominay as sort of false nines. It looks like sort of McTominay and Sancho are both false nines. Ball kicked forward. Oh, Nana slipped. Nana fell over. Good Lord. Look at it. It's yeah, the turf just sort of was mad. Ahmad's offside. Is Jones for Liverpool. That was the last thing we need. Andre Onana gets hurt because the turf just rips apart. That'll be bad. Interception by Wan-Bissaka. McTominay gives the ball away. Liverpool on the attack. As Collier and Amas are doubling up there. Goes all the way back to Andre Onana. Goes long, aiming for Ahmad. Manages to turn that time. He's all by himself. Can he go all the way by himself? Surely that's going to be a foul. Jadon Sancho. Casemiro shoots. Well, that was a counter-attack. That was a counter-attack by Manchester United. They're saying they wanted to have the foul in the end. But it was good play by Ahmad in the end there. Throw into Manchester United. Man United have started the second half brightly, though. Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka again. McTominay turns. That's a good pass. Out to the left-hand side. Harry Ms. Ball in. Flicked on by Mason Mount. Comes back. Ahmad. Oh, he just... I mean, it's the same as the first half all over again, isn't it? And here come Liverpool on the counter-attack. As I mentioned earlier on. Out wide. And it's a poor cross. Claimed by Andre Onana. But really, same as the first half. Man United have an opportunity. Not class, a foul. Terrible tackle on Scott McTominay. Good opportunity. Man United aren't clinical. Allows Liverpool to counter-attack. Doesn't come to anything of it. That's the story of the first half again. Andre Onana on the ball. Wan-Bissaka. Ahmad, good play. Casemiro out to Collier. Heavy touch. Does manage to get the pass away though. Here's Jadon Sancho. Out wide to Amas. Cuts back inside. Puts the ball in. Oh, nearly chested it into his own net. Now Liverpool just playing out from the back. Liverpool on the attack here. And referee brings that one back. Oof. Oh, Liverpool are in here. Amas, look at that. That's good defending. Well done, Harry Amas. That's much, much better. Brilliant tackle by the youngster. Collier. Casemiro. Poor pass. Poor pass. But it was a great tackle by Harry Amas. But certainly a high-paced start once again to this second half. Switch out by Liverpool, but goes out for a Manchester United throw-in. And Manchester United throw-in, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is going to take. Cleared up the pitch. Nearly 54 minutes gone. Manchester United 0, Liverpool 2. And once again, looks like it's McTominay and Sancho would be leading the press there. It's a long kick. Wan-Bissaka does get ahead to it. Casemiro wins that one. Oh, it's given away again. Casemiro, how many times has he done that in the second half already? Give the ball away. My goodness. Reverse pass across goal, and in the end, Onana picks it up. You just can't afford to keep doing that. That just sort of poor square pass, because immediately, boom, Liverpool on the counter-attack again. Bennett puts it out to Harry Ms. Andre Onana again. Oh my God, Casemiro again. Like, what is going on? Like, that's like 2 or 3 passes in a row. Like, where he's moving mad. Ahmad keeps it in. Into the box. Amad Diallo. There's just no end product from United. That's better. Casemiro wins it back. Can't pass it, but he wins it back. And then it goes out for a United throw. Is Bennett. Switch out to a mess. Ball in. McTominay! Surely! I missed. We're not going to score today. There's no way we're going to score. How can we not score? How can we not score? If this is a miss, it cuts back. It's there. Oh, it's a corner. You can't really tell because of the camera angle. Clearly it's a corner. But oh my God. Header held by the keeper. How have we not scored in this game? We could have, I'm not even exaggerating. Manchester United could have scored at least 5 goals in this game. Oh my word. Here's Mo Salah in behind again. May talk about baptism of fire. Harry Amass against Mo Salah. That's going to be a goal kick. Man. 5 likes away from 1,000, by the way, guys. If you haven't already, click the like button. That's meant to be what you're good at, McTominay. That's meant to be that's your thing, scoring goals. Well, Anthony's about to come on. Is Casemiro. McTominay. Ahmad. Cuts inside. I take passes on there. Out to Mason Mount. Down the left-hand side. Jadon Sancho. He's into the box. Sancho. Weaves in and out. Still going by himself. Shot blocked by Casemiro. I'm telling you, I just don't know if I just don't think we're going to score. It's not our day. A mass ball in. Bit heavy. Goes out for a throw. Goal kick, rather. Ah. I think by Ahmad's reaction there, looks like he might be coming off. So Liverpool are making a sub. As we enter the 60th minute. Liverpool still 2-0 up. I mean, somehow... Still can't believe Man United haven't been able to score. Liverpool ball through. Amass. He's done well in the second half defensively. Much better, Amass. Looked like he is growing in confidence, definitely. Here come Liverpool on attack again. Reverse pass. In behind. Cuts it back. Oh, okay now. 3-0. Yep. Easy to get in behind. I want to have another look at it. Have a look at Andre Onana, but another cutback. Should we be shocked? He's offside. I think he's offside. He's offside. Cuts it back. Onana should do better with his parry as well, but he was offside. If it was in the Prem, it'd get ruled out for VAR, but no VAR in this game. Not our first offside goal we conceded in this pre-season tour. But Wan-Bissaka gives the ball away. But easy for Liverpool to get in behind, which again you would expect with this back four. I think Onana should do better as well. And again, it's incredibly frustrating for Manchester United because they should at the very, very, very least at least have a goal in this game. But if you can't score, it's what you get. Jadon Sancho. It's going to be a free kick for United. Free kick to United. Can we actually score a goal? Probably not. Ball in, headed away. Here's Sancho. Here's Anthony. Back, Casemiro. Oh, tipped away by the goalkeeper. Sancho. Headed goalwards and just wide. By the way, guys, I'm just seeing some stuff in the chat, by the way. The job of the mods is to try and make sure the chat is as friendly, not confrontational as it should be. It's their discretion if people are, violating the guidelines. Obviously, there's no spamming. There's, keep it respectful. If you're not being respectful or you are spamming or whatever, ball in! Ethan Whitley missed. Then you'll be timed out. I mean, we're meant to be. The word is community. You can have disagreements. People have different opinions. That's totally fine. But keep it respectful. No spamming. And, we don't need to be headed wide. We don't need to be doing that. We don't. Especially in a pre-season game at 2 o'clock in the morning. What are we doing, guys? So, if that does happen, then the mods will just time you out. All right? But another chance for Manchester United. This time from Wheatley. It's a flick on. Casemiro just headed it wide. And now Liverpool making a bunch of substitutions. A bunch of substitutions for Liverpool in the 65th minute. And Mo Salah is off as well for Liverpool. I mean, honestly, guys, we need to just take a collective breath. Again, remember, be respectful to each other. We're just Man United fans, yeah? We're just fans. Well, some aren't Man United fans, but still, even if you're not, it's just football. Chill. Take a collective breath. Like I said, and big up the mods in there, because it's not easy. Look, people get heated, or people can have debates. That's what it is, but always keep it respectful. Is Ericsson. Puts it out to Fish. Onana. There's Endo on the pitch now for Liverpool. Here's Bradley. That's put out for a Liverpool corner. And again, it's an interesting one, isn't it, this? Because obviously, look, 3-0, and I'm sure that, you know, there'll be loads of people that didn't stay up to watch the game or what have you. They'll be like, what? 3-0? But it tells a partial story of the game, with certainly Liverpool being clinical and Manchester United defensively maybe not being up to snuff, which you would expect with the back four. But what it certainly doesn't tell the story is, or it doesn't necessarily tell the story is, you know, the chances Man United created and actually some really good parts of play. Here's Wan-Bissaka. Anthony overran it. And that's going to go up for a Liverpool throw. Liverpool win the ball back. Anthony. Short pass by Ericsson. That's the worst thing. Will Fish gets booked, but it's not Will Fish's fault at all. Christian Eriksen did a really short pass. And Will Fish had to commit, and it's a massive clash of legs, but that's on Christian Eriksen there. Actually, Will Fish looks to be in quite a lot of pain. And by the way, to the mods, whatever, if it's the same person coming back in different accounts, then just keep timing them out. It's whatever. It's cool. But Will Fish looks to be in quite a lot of pain here. He said it was a nasty collision. And he looks to be in quite a lot of discomfort, which isn't good. If he's going to have to come off. I mean, we'd be really down to bare bones, wouldn't we? Oh, my goodness me. We've already had... Maguire's out for a precaution. Lindelof and Evans are off. Now, Will Fish doesn't look good at all. Might have to go on a stretcher here. And again, it's a nightmare for him because wasn't that much really he could do. It was a short pass, kind of just then collides with the player. Erik ten Hag looks particularly concerned. And you can see his legs wrapped up. Erik ten Hag's on the pitch. Looks to be concerned. And doesn't look good at all. Immediately his legs wrapped up. Just hope it's not like a break or anything like that. And the frustrating thing is it was really avoidable. And he's been out on loan quite a few times, Fish. I think he's been on loan to Hibernian a couple of times. But it'll mean another sub. So, question is, who's going to be coming on? I don't know if we've got actually. I don't know if we've got any other centre backs who we're going to be bringing on. See who they do bring on. It's going to be Mather. Oh, Mather's replacing Sancho. So Murray is coming on for a mass, but I don't know who's coming on for Fish. So Oyedele is coming on for Fish. I mean, so we are fully in as if we weren't makeshift settings as it was. I mean, we are really makeshift. I mean, my goodness. This team is nowhere near the team that's going to be kicking off the start of the season. I mean, you've got Onana, Wan-Bissaka, Bennett, Oyedele, Murray, Casemiro, Collier, Ahmad, McTominay, Mount, Mather. Nearly 74 minutes gone. Still 3-0. Casemiro. There's still quite a lot of time left in this game, in all honesty. I thought Ethan Whitley's on the pitch, isn't he, as well? I missed those other subs. So Mather's actually here. Wheatley's up front, isn't he? So that's 36. And Eriksen's on, isn't he? I mean, it's difficult to keep up with all of these subs. That's what I'm just trying to figure out. So it looks like Casemiro's at centre back now, I think. No, it's kind of just completely all over the place, isn't it? Really. I think it's kind of pointless trying to keep up with these subs at this point. It's mad. Early into the 76th minute. Wan-Bissaka. Well, I mentioned earlier on, didn't I, talking about, you know, what it'd be interesting to see what happened with Wan-Bissaka, about, you know, if he would play or not, just about his transfer, about the transfer situation, and yeah, he's going to play the full 90 probably. I'll let this play out. Put a ball into the box. Sabucio says United created loads of chances. Few mistakes from Collier leading to second goal. Casemiro and Wan-Bissaka dreadful. It's been run for 6 months. Appreciate 6 months of support from you. As the game now kind of just sort of peter out a little bit, won't it, with all of these changes. Switch of play. It's a good touch by the Liverpool player. It's difficult to even know who's left on for Liverpool as well. I mean, it's completely different teams now. And I'll let that one trickle back to him. So Casemiro nearly gets caught out at centre back, by the way, there. As the commentator's just running through the team, just try to figure out what's going on. Wan-Bissaka wins the ball back. Anthony. As we're about, what, 12 minutes left? So short, poor pass by Liverpool. Casemiro. Oyedele. Liverpool win the ball back. Endo. Casemiro went through the player. Referee says no. Oh. Tackle through Anthony. And Wan-Bissaka just manages to get that, but no. Honestly, don't. Honestly, don't. Honestly, don't. Get him off the pitch as soon as possible. I swear to God, if Aaron Wan-Bissaka is injured and he doesn't go to West Ham, I think he's okay. I think he's alright. Take him off. Take him off. Because at this point, the game doesn't matter at this point, doesn't it? Just put Scanlon again at right back. It really doesn't matter at this point. Just make Wan-Bissaka off the pitch. Don't jeopardize the move, for goodness sake. Why is he playing 90? He doesn't need to play 90. Why are we doing fitness work? Why am I seeing 2 guys get pictures taken as well on the camera? Oh. Nine minutes left. Casemiro gives it back to Onana. Liverpool again, deflection, and Onana picks it up. On kick by Onana towards Anthony, gets flicked on for a Manchester United throw-in. Yeah, now Scanlon's coming on. I'm telling you, it's going to be for Wan-Bissaka. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, honestly. What the fuck? This just takes the piss. I mean, he looks to be moving around okay, but he's coming off. He should have came off ages ago with everyone else. It's pre-season. It doesn't matter. Like, we're 3-0 down. We're not protecting some, lead or whatever. Oh, I don't want to get embarrassing. Who cares? Take him off. Take him off. Oh. What is that? Anthony. I mean, to be fair, it looked like Wan-Bissaka was okay, I think. But, yeah. Long kick by the Liverpool keeper. Ball in. Casemiro. Is Sam Mather. That's going to be a foul. So now you're just thinking about, again, injuries coming out of the game, aren't you? Just going, please just don't get any more injuries. I tell you what, Onana's passing today has actually been really bad. I mean, for all the talk about his distribution, it's not been good. I mean, legitimately, he's not had a good game. Anthony, McTominay turns. McTominay goes down. Every time anyone hits the floor. Long ball forward. That'll be picked up by Onana. But once again, I mean, as we have about 5 minutes left, there still wouldn't be. Again, I know that because we've done this quite a lot with these games too. Is it gets into the second half and we see stuff like this, now, and we're like, oh my god, it's going to be terrible. But look at the team that's out at the moment. It's not even. It's mad, isn't it? I mean, our back four: Scanlon, Bennett, Oyedele. Well, it's actually Casemiro, Murray. Doesn't take away we played well in the for the majority of the first half. The game sort of changes after like 65 minutes, doesn't it? But he'll be frustrated, Erik ten Hag. He'll be frustrated in not being clinical because he'll I'm sure he'll come out afterwards and say that we've got to be more clinical, you've got to be more ruthless. But we've still got a lot of players to come back. A lot of players to come back, and the good thing is it doesn't count for anything. Zayn Miasi's in the chat with the super chat. Casemiro. What's Zayn doing up as well? Zayn, that is dedication. Zayn Miasi's coming to troll in the super chats at 2:30 in the morning. Your mum's going to be furious, Zayn. It's past your bedtime. You've stolen the credit card again. You're going to be grounded. You've only just been allowed to use the credit card once more. Oh, terrible. Is Casemiro. Wheatley tried to hold the ball up, and that's going to be a free kick. Christian Eriksen stands over this free kick. Ball in. Oof. Eriksen again. Eriksen, long ball forward. And that's held by the Liverpool keeper. As just a couple minutes remain. And to be fair with the camera angle, I got used to it in the end. I got used to the camera angle in the end. It was all right. It'll feel weird going back to watching a normal camera angle at this point. As this game continues just to peter out. There won't be any stoppage time or anything like that either. And to be honest, it looks like both teams just wait for the match to end. Of course, this is the final game of the pre-season tour. Technically, the final game of pre-season is the game at Wembley, the Charity Shield, Community Shield, whatever you want to call it. And it opens up the debate again, doesn't it, about whether it's real or whether it's, you know, is it pre-season? Is it a trophy? Isn't it a trophy? It's not a trophy. Technically, it is, but it's a bit like a lot of pre-season games. It doesn't have really any bearing on the season. Three minutes of stoppage time. They are playing, well, I suppose, with the injury. Anthony, it's got to be a foul. Here's Ericsson. Scanlon. That's going to be a foul. As we have a couple of minutes left. But certainly the next time we do see Manchester United, it'll be a much fuller team, obviously. You're not going to see this version of United play next Saturday, certainly. As Liverpool currently on the ball. How many likes are we currently on at the moment? We're currently at 1,048 likes. If you haven't already, click the like button. See if we can get at 1,050. 8 subscribers away from 173,600. And that's a Liverpool throw. As 60 seconds remain. 60 seconds remain. And to be honest, United played Liverpool quite early in the season, didn't they? So, as is always the case, isn't it? You know, as is always the case, that's the important one, isn't it? Important one is when it counts in the Prem. Long kick by the Liverpool keeper. That's back to Andre Onana. And the United goal. It'd be interesting what Erik ten Hag does say after the game. Definitely. Because you will be cut a frustrated figure. But there you go. That is the full-time whistle. And that is the final game of the pre-season tour is done. Liverpool win by 3 goals to nil. Manchester United played well in the first half. Weren't clinical. Didn't take their chances. Liverpool certainly were clinical. Then, as you would expect in the second half, game changes quite a lot, doesn't it? With lots of substitutions from both sides. Liverpool were pretty on top in the second half. In reality, weren't they? We have still a lot of players missing, a lot of players not available. But got to take some chances, absolutely. And some performances were positive, so were negative. But that's pre-season for you, isn't it? That is pre-season certainly in a nutshell for you. So indeed, there you go. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner. As for what's on tap, of course, reminder, there is going to be fan views coming from South Carolina, from Fleck, possibly some conversation, some chats. I'll turn that timer off. With maybe some of the United players. Be interesting to see if they have anything else to say, their thoughts on the tour, their thoughts on their performances too. So stay tuned for that. I'll be uploading my reaction very shortly as well. And yeah, that's a pre-season tour. From myself, certainly, I'm sure Flex will give his thanks in his wrap-up of the tour. But for myself, I appreciate everyone that's stayed up over here in the UK or around the world that's joined me on these pre-season match views. And obviously, like I said, they're late nights. And sometimes pre-season can be pre-season a bit tedious, sometimes a bit dull. But you guys have tuned in your droves, so it certainly is much appreciated. I am the luckiest man in the world. I get to do this. Can you imagine? I get to do that. Stay up late with you guys watching football. Not bad, is it? Not bad at all. So you guys absolutely make it worthwhile. So big up to everyone. Appreciate you all tuning in, and we'll go again for the season. Obviously 7 days, well, less than 7 days time. I'll be live for the Community Shield match view for that. It'll be a KO match view again. Well, give us strength. KG the comedian and myself. I'm sure he'll have no technical problems whatsoever when he for those. But be sure to join us. Last one we did, last KO match view we did, and it was Wembley. We won the FA Cup, so maybe we might have a bit of a positive omen and record going for that one. You never know. But big up to everyone. Get some rest, and that's the US preseason tour from me. I'm out of it. Peace.